what's going on? Good afternoon. What the fuck am I saying? Good evening, ladies and germs.
It's good afternoon in California.
Yeah, that's true. It's afternoon somewhere. It is 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on, this is episode 98 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. It is Monday, February the 1st, 2021.
That's a good year for us, Dave.
It's true. It's true. And tonight, Tony and I are watching the 1990 sequel, Child's Play 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! Yes, we are! Episode 98. It's hard to believe we're 2 away from the big 100. Child's Play 2 is tonight. This is sort of where the series stops for me. And Tony. But what about brothers?
But Tony, I think you really will. No, I really won't. I really won't. Like I said, I told you before we started, I've caught blips of, the other movies.
Yes.
And I'm just like, nope. I'm just like, nope, like not feeling it. Don't really care. Like, look, and if you're a diehard fan of Chucky and the franchise, man, more power to you. But
yeah,
like you just said, dude, after 2, I'm done.
Yeah, I just never was a big fan of, I like the first Child's Play, like I've said. I like the second Child's Play, which is why we're watching it. I remember not totally hating the third one, but I was like, oh, this is kind of where now it's kind of, and then it just took.
You got some purple lights going. You about to pass out the singles to a pretty lady back there?
Yeah. I'm looking for my dollar bills. We don't have dollar bills here in Canada. We have loonies. But anyway, we have coins.
Yeah.
I do have American dollar bills actually sitting right back there, actually. I don't know why they're there.
But you don't have we don't have to convert them when we go up there, right? Like most places take American
most
money
places,
up there,
yeah.
right?
No, if we go to the States,
you have to convert.
I have to convert. It depends though. Sometimes if it's one of the border states like New York or something, if it's something small like quarters or something like that, they'll take the Canadian quarter. But anything beyond that, yes. Although I've paid with American money here on things too, but I pay for it at par. Like I don't pay. Like it's not like I think that's kind of how it goes. At least that's what it was like for me at the grocery store one time when I was trying to get rid of American dollars. I just had so much left over from a trip. But anyway, what were we talking about? Yeah, Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3.
2.
It's 2, yeah. But the third one, I was like, yeah, and I'm just not. I don't care. I just, I'm not a fan of where the series went. It got tired, and I'm not somebody that can generally watch the same thing over and over again. And I know people are going to say, but it's so different. Yeah, but it became Carnival Barker. It became too it just was silly to me. I didn't. The first Child's Play and the second Child's Play. The second Child's Play more so than the first, but the first Child's Play is actually a pretty decent little thriller. And I say thriller because obviously it's not like blood, guts, and gore all over the place, although there is some blood. It's a horror movie, I get it, it's a slasher. But it's actually pretty scary, and you don't see Chucky until 45 minutes into the movie. Child's Play 2, he's a little more comedic, but it's still got that Child's Play eeriness to it. But
it's a solid sequel.
Yeah, but like with any slasher movie, it's inevitable. The more you go on, the more you have to justify why we're keeping this, and then the weird and fucking dumb and sensational creep into it, which eventually it happens. Yeah, well, it does, and for me, I just don't care. I don't give a shit.
When does she get it? Because she became a big part of the franchise, right? Like later on.
Yeah, was it Seed or Bride or something? I don't know. I haven't fucking seen. I think
she was like the voice of the female doll.
Yeah, I think it was. What was the one that came out or maybe they both did.
Dude, you're asking the wrong person.
No, I meant that. I meant it to the audience. I meant what is the? It was what was that one in the 90s?
Bride, Seed,
Bride,
Curse,
or something.
Right? After the third. That's after the third.
There's Bride. There's Seed. There's Cult. There's Curse.
Oh, Cult and Curse. That's right.
Cult and Curse. Bride and Seed. I mean, I just don't care. I don't fucking care. It's dog shit. I just can't watch it.
Like even when you say the names, is it a throwback to like the title of these names, like to the old school monster films? I get it, like Bride of Frankenstein.
And I think,
I get it.
And sorry, dude. I was just gonna say, and I think, to be fair, in order to continue Chucky, in order to continue Child's Play, I think, ironically, that is actually probably the route you had to go, because I don't think it's believable that this doll, would be somehow continuing to go on in some sort of serious horror movie by 4 and 5 and 6. I mean, it's absurd, just the doll anyway. The idea of this doll, kicking, adult men's asses is just hilarious if you look at it from a certain point of view. So I think it did probably have to take the more carnival barker kind of, circus act route in order to have any kind of longevity. Now I hear that Curse or Cult, whatever that one's that one that came out, it's gone back to the roots or something. And I'm like, I've watched a bit of it, and I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, in comparison to Seed or Bride, yeah, but it's still,
correct me if I'm wrong. That's the one. Dourif's daughter is the lead in that one, right?
I don't know.
Isn't she the lead?
I have no idea.
Brad Dourif's daughter. Shit, what's her name? Something Dourif, right? I don't know. I don't know. I just thought I heard somewhere like she's the lead or she's the
it's something like that.
Something like that.
And again, I mean, it's I if you love the Child's Play movies, it's great. It's just in like I said, in people's defense, in defense of those later sequels that were weird, maybe it's the only way you could go is
Fiona. Thank you. I knew
is to bring like a bride into it and have all their dolls and weird things, and because what else are you gonna? Because you can't take this, like you can't have the first Child's Play like 4 or 5 of those kinds of movies. You just can't do that. It's you can get one in there and it's kind of creepy and weird, right? It's new, it's fresh, like, wow, it's kind of creepy. But to have 5 serious horror movies with Chucky, I just think you probably couldn't do it, which is why I wouldn't have made it anymore. But anyway, we're watching Child's Play 2 tonight. Tony and I are paused 4 seconds into the movie. The old school Universal Studios logo is up on the screen with that little propeller plane just in the middle of the screen. That's where we are paused. Hopefully you will be watching along with us tonight. Episode 98. Hard to believe we're at 98. But yeah, let's do this, my man. You ready?
I am ready.
All right, here we go. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A Universal Picture. Universal Pictures. Remember the old commercial? Zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. Do you remember those ads? I don't think they were Canadian. I think they were American ads, actually.
Yeah,
zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. By Manon. Remember those? When I was like a...
Oh, yeah.
By Manon. Fuck! I missed the 80s. That might have been the 90s, too. Universal Pictures, a David Kirshner production. Dia Maria says, what do you guys plan to do for your 100th episode? We're going to get naked. And, no, we're not. I don't know. We can't say much at the moment. We're still mulling it over. Well, we might just not think too hard about it and just maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Timestamp. Oh, we just started. Jack. We're 1 minute 40 seconds into the movie. There's Chicago. And there's the burnt Chucky doll. Ah, yes. The old burnt Chucky doll. Yeah, I have more of the purpley light off to the right today. I don't know. I just decided to change things up. Child's Play 2. Woo! Child's Play 2, bitches. Child's Play 2. Ba-na-na-na. This is 1990, Tony. You and I were 11 years old when this movie came out in 1990. I remember 1990.
I remember I was watching this with my girlfriend. Again, I use that term loosely. It was just a group of us.
She was 55.
Well, because we were in 5th grade, right?
Teacher. No.
Were we in 5th grade?
Some dark comedy there, folks. Some dark comedy. Were you in fifth? What grade were we in? We in grade
1990. We were 11.
Well,
I didn't see this in theater. I saw this on
5 or 6.
VHS, so that would have been more 91 when it finally reached us on VHS. So yeah, that would be about right. I was like 5th, 6th grade.
Yep.
I just remember hanging out. It was like a small group of us watching it together. We rented it. I still remember the commercial for this, though. It was a hell of a marketing ad. You had this Jack in the Box going, and it was just kind of slowly going.
Yes,
slowly going,
that's
and all of a
right.
sudden you see Chucky's foot step on the Jack in the Box. He's like, "Sorry, Jack."
I remember that. I remember that.
Creative marketing.
Do you know what I used to do as a kid? Sometimes to put myself in movies that I really liked, and I did it with Child's Play 2, actually, or was it the first Child's Play? It was one of the Child's Play movies. I would get my boombox, my ghetto blaster, right? Put a cassette tape into it. I would go up to the speaker of the television. I would hit record on the boombox. And this is like, I'm like 10 years old, 11 years old. And I would let...
Oh, yeah, I did that for some shit.
And I would let the movie play on the TV. So the tape was picking up the audio. And then I would speak beside it as if I was a character in the movie. So I would be, and of course like as a kid, it sounds really cool. And, you know, your parents are like, oh, that sounds really cool. But at the end of the day, it's not like any character in the movie is really interacting with me, right? I'm just kind of like this character that's talking, that nobody's talking to, that nobody is responding to whatsoever. But it was fun. And it gave me this sense, you know, as a young child, when I would listen to it back, like I was in the movie. I was actually in this movie. I was in Child's Play. And it's, you know, but the volume had to be just right on the TV. So my voice wasn't too loud, or the volume from the movie wasn't too loud. It didn't, you know, we didn't drown each other out or anything. It actually sounded like the mix, quote unquote, was proper. And I did that with Star Wars, with Vacation, and
we did
Chucky,
that with
Halloween.
A lot of shit. Yep.
I still have them. I still have those audio tapes. You know?
We didn't have the luxury of like having everything instant for us. You know, like you know, nowadays you can just look shit up online. Whether it was songs, you know, we did that a lot for music. You know, maybe a song wasn't being played on the radio, but it was, you know, there was a song being played on MTV, like MTV videos or whatever, and we would take the boombox and play it, put it right up to the speaker of the television, and record the version of the song that I wanted to have on cassette. You know, from the speaker record. You know what I mean? It's just like, in thinking about that, it's like, yeah, we used to do that fucking crazy shit just to get music.
But did you Aaron Click says Dave played the neglected child in all of his movies. It's totally true. But you see, in the movie, I felt like I was one of the adults. Like I swear to God, I have audio cassette tapes of me in the original Halloween. I'm like 11 years old, you know, like trying to find Michael Myers alongside Dr. Loomis, you know, and you listen to it. It's like, who's this child with Dr. Loomis? It was fucking funny. Did you ever, though, Tony, sing with the music you like as if you were in the band?
When we were really little, or when I was really little, like there's photos of me that my dad has. I used to put on the Elvis Live from Hawaii album, and I would do Elvis's entire show, literally entire show. And then once the very end came on, I didn't have a cape, but I had like my parents' long pillowcase that I would use as my cape. And during Can't Help Falling in Love, at the end, I would throw the cape or the pillowcase to my imaginary audience.
Do you have video of this?
No photos.
That's photos. Well, you
my
get
grandfather had a VH recorder, but my parents didn't have one. We didn't get one till like the 90s. So everything I have documented back then is mostly on. I have photos. I'll have to pull up the photos and show that to you guys.
Okay. We are timestamp here for Child's Play 2 is 7 minutes 25 seconds. Little Andy, Alex Vincent, is talking to his child psychologist, I think. And they're
There's
playing.
one photo I know I can get immediately. It's right over there. I'll have to pull it out. I got the microphone and the flashlight in my hand, and the flashlight with my laser show.
You have to bust that out. You have to
That was
bust
on a
that
poor budget,
out.
man. That was like 2.
Oh,
like 3, something like that. Yeah, I did a lot of Elvis and Neil Diamond. Those are my 2.
Now, Andy, the guy who played Neil Diamond, the guy who plays Andy, did he not come back for one of the Child's Play movies a couple years ago, like Cult or Curse or something like that? I thought he came back to reprise his role. He came back. The chat will know because they seem to know more about this stuff. Frank Power Wheels. Yes! Zestfully, you're not fully clean unless you're you're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. I should get some Zest. Do they still sell Zest soap? Maybe they do. Cult. It was Cult. I don't fucking care. Cult. Okay, he reprised his role in Cult. Alex Vincent needed a paycheck. I have no idea. He came back and he how was he in the movie? I never saw it, so I have no idea. Was he good? Was he rough? Was he a little rusty? Was he, did he seem a little awkward being out of the acting game for a bit? I don't know. Has he done any acting in between this movie and that movie? I have no idea. Probably, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Andy's being adopted. Now, why is he being adopted again? Is it because his mother went insane and couldn't get over shit and she's in some asylum or something?
I think so. It's been a minute since
I've seen believe that though?
Film. Well, I just think she the actress herself went on to Seventh Heaven.
Oh yes, right? yeah. But
came out.
No, Seventh Heaven came out in 90. I don't think so. Was it 90? But I want to know.
She maybe went on and just did other stuff.
I want to know from the audience: do we believe the character? Do we believe the character, the mom? Now I know what the story is. She went nutty. Okay, yeah. But do we buy that though? Do we believe that the mom went nutty? I mean, think about what happened in the first Child's Play.
She probably just thought the first one was cool, but the second one, she's like, nah.
Oh, no. The actress, yes. But I'm talking about in terms of writing, do I believe?
Oh, yeah, I know. It probably put them in a bind because they probably were hoping she would come back.
But then just kill her off. Then just have her dead. Because I have trouble believing, unless they were hoping she'd return for a future installment. But I have trouble believing that Andy is so well kept together. But the mom for some strange reason just went off the fucking hinges. Off the hinges! That she could not care for her son. And he had to be put up for adoption.
1990, so technically he's still alive. Maybe she's in the care of Dr. Loomis.
Maybe she's in the care of Dr. Loomis. And yes!
Yeah, you never know.
Yes! I love the shot
of Andy's about to have flashbacks.
Yep, there goes the big truck. There goes. I love the doll on the outside of the truck. Just kind of
literal flashbacks.
It's just almost like saying, "Hi, bitch, I'm back, you fuckers." This looks like this looks very. Was this shot in California? This looks like it could be California.
It looks like it. Looks like a typical Pasadena type street.
It does a little bit. Yeah. This dad's a douche.
How's it hanging, Phil?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a great line.
Hanging, Phil. Yeah, it is a good line. Why is the entire house blue and that kind of blue? That's a disgusting.
That's like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, it's just, but it's very dollhouse,
especially
color.
With the wallpaper trim going around the top there. I remember my uncle and aunt had that in their place in similar type, maybe not so much the pink, but blue definitely was a very popular color scheme.
Doesn't the color scheme with the pink and the blue almost look like dollhouse a bit?
Maybe that's what they were going for.
Maybe it was.
Because I'm looking at the carpets too. The carpets have a very similar color scheme going on.
Yeah. Foreshadowing right here, obviously. Don't touch that, you fucker. Imagine the dad is just so chillax, so relaxed. He just swears uncontrollably. He's like, "Don't touch that, fucker. All right, fuckhead, let's get you some breakfast."
Turns into what's his name there from fucking Rob Zombie's Howling. Bitch, if you don't shut up, I'm fuck you.
That's a whole different level. A whole different level right there. Whole different level, folks. But this is, I mean, this, as far as sequels go, this is a solid sequel. It's kind of, I think Child's Play fans, to be honest with you, I think Child's Play, the series, Child's Play, the series, suffers the same sort of fandom as Friday the 13th does, that the first one, although I like the first one the best, isn't usually most people's favorite. It tends to be Child's Play 2 that is people's favorite, or one of the favorites. I very rarely come across somebody who likes the original Child's Play the best.
Excuse me, I'm wiping up my drool.
Oh, drool.
Oh, yeah. That's my girl, man.
She's 80. She's 86 now.
Who? Christine Elise?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, man.
Now, how old is she now? She got to be, what, in her 40s now, or close to 50. She looks like she's like 20 here.
She's also Emily Valentine on 90210. She was that character.
Did she have the same kind of hair?
Yeah, that she had that short. Here it's a little bit longer. Her hair was a little bit shorter in 90210. It was more like kind of like a punk rock style. She was fucking hot.
What else was she in?
90210. These are the only two movies that 90210 and this are the only two that I know.
I get her mixed up sometimes. She's significantly older, but I get her mixed up with that girl that was in The Faculty and in Zodiac.
Oh yeah, no, that's not her.
No, but they have a similar look though.
Similar look,
similar look.
Similar vibes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I sometimes get those two mixed up, but she's obviously older. Here you go, Andy. Here's your fucking bedroom, bitch. Here's your fucking bedroom. Go over there, you fucking piece of shit.
Hans,
Just a bunch of swearing in this movie.
Pretty much, she's almost the same character as Emily Valentine in this movie. And I think this movie came out before she showed up on 90210. She didn't show up on 90210 to the second season, which would have been 90-91 was the first season, so 91-92. So yeah, so she was pretty much, I don't know if she just got typecast into that like hardcore punk type girl.
Why would these parents have a Chucky doll?
That never made sense to me. This kid, you obviously know.
You know about this. Why would you?
So it's like, hey, let me just buy another one.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That's always bothered me.
Douchebag move.
That's always bothered me because you would definitely know the history. At least I think they do. They know the history. They know what happened. They know where it's come from. You would. Even if they, like, I know it's hidden and it's out of the way, but you wouldn't hide it. Here's the thing that doesn't work for me. Let's say you decide to hide it in the house. You don't get rid of it. You certainly wouldn't hide it in the child's bedroom. No. You would hide it in the basement in a box, duct tape in the corner if you weren't going to get rid of it. But why don't you just fucking get rid of it?
90s filmmaking, right?
But I guess I guess the thing is they forgot about it. I think it's like they forgot about it. And it's like, okay, maybe they did. Maybe they did forget about it. Maybe they did. I'm getting into my car and I'm going to get killed by Chucky. Chucky. Charlie. Does Chucky have a last name? I mean, not the guy that who died and possessed him, but does Chucky himself have a last name? Chucky. Does he have a last name?
Ray?
No, Charles Lee Ray, yes, and I know that's why he's Chucky. But I'm wondering, like, would we call him Chucky Ray? Is that what we would call the doll? Chucky Ray? Charles Lee Ray, played by what's his face as well? Dorff, yeah, that's right. He didn't just voice Chucky. He actually played Charles Lee Ray in the first Child's Play. So the guy stops off to get some liquor. He had to do that early 90s whoop whoop.
As they say, liquor in the front, poker in the rear.
Oh,
you ever seen that sign?
No, but I get it. Look at that! Look at that shot. That
it's
rotary
actually
phone.
it's a card sign. It's poker, the game poker.
Yeah.
You get your liquor up in the front, your bottle, poker in the rear.
That's. Look at this red rotary phone. This is like some Batman Gotham shit right there. Andy Barclay. This guy is one of those character actors you see in movies a lot too.
I remember a time, man, and I remember growing up, there were certain gas stations that wouldn't accept debit cards or credit cards. You had to pay cash.
Yeah, I remember that.
I totally remember that.
Well, I just remember the phrase, "Do you take debit?" Do you remember that?
Yeah, I sort of remember
having to say that to people. Do you take debit? You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember that.
I told you he'd be here. Cody, there he is.
Yeah. Oh,
Cody Leach.
Cody is. I don't have my glass on. What is it? Cody. Oh, super chat. Cody, super chat. Did I hear someone say Child's Play 2? Yes, Mr. Leach. We are watching Child's Play 2. We are. Where are we here? We are 18 minutes 35 seconds into the movie, and Chucky's about to tear this. Fucker. Oh, there he goes. He puts the gun to his face.
In the Child's Play franchise. So if y'all have questions, please, I'm going to detour them to Cody now.
That's right. Yep. You can tell it's not really raining here. This is just water towers.
Movie rain?
Yeah, movie rain. Well, real rain actually has a difficult time showing up on camera, depending on how thick it is, but it can be difficult. Look at the Chucky silhouette in the back. It's great. Look at that. Lightning.
That's the only reason why I haven't done Child's Play photos, because I need a good animatronic Chucky doll where I can move his face and make him angry, like you see, here in this in the sequence here. Just having the straight face Chucky, it's not really scary, and there's not much I can do.
Well, they do sell Chucky dolls with the angry face.
Yeah, they do, but I'm limited on doing a photo.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because it's one expression, right?
I can't do here, with the animatronics.
Yeah.
Where his face, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His face is moving. And
I understand. No, I get it.
That's the kind of doll that I need to do a proper Chucky photo.
Yeah.
shoot.
Well, there's got to be one out there. There's got to be somebody that owns a Chucky.
I had like 10 grand.
Yeah,
probably.
that's true. Yeah. Oh, he's fucking Black Christmasing this douche. Oh. He totally cleared from. He cleared him. I love his nose too. I love how his nose is like right up, because it just makes it seem like it's just very sort of intense. He's getting his fucking ass handed to him. That's great. Now, does Chucky take the car and drive? I can't remember. I don't know how. I don't know how he would, but it's a lot of lightning. That's a lot of lightning.
It's such a douchebag move.
It is such a douchebag move. I don't understand why you
went through. Why the parents would have that doll in the house if you're adopting him.
Yeah, I don't.
Even if you don't believe that the kid went through that experience with, Child's Play 1 with having a good guy doll.
Yeah.
You don't go out and buy the doll and have it say, "Oh, well, we're going to have it in the house." Kid,
you don't.
Sorry.
Let's see if Cody is still watching. Cody, did the parents? I forget now because I haven't watched 2 in a little bit. Did the adoptive parents know, and you would think they would know about Andy's past and know that the good guy doll, I mean, they know this because when the doll falls out of the closet, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Why didn't, and I like this movie, but it's always bothered me. Why the fuck they didn't just take it out of the bedroom. They put it down. They put it downstairs and displayed it.
Right.
I mean, why would you do that? You'd get rid of it.
Andy walks down for breakfast. What?
You'd get rid of it. Why would you? Yeah. Well, that's it. Like, so the next morning he comes downstairs and there it is displayed. Like, "Good morning, Andy." I never understood that. I was always sort of. It always perplexed me that these adoptive parents are just psychologically torturing the child if you're going to keep the doll in the house, and I never really understood it. I
21:56:7. That's a timestamp.
Yes. Oh, is that your dog barking or is that the movie?
Yeah, it's a bitter cold day here, but it's also windy as fuck. So like, just tree branches are constantly hitting the house.
I gotcha. Oh,
and it's making rustling noises.
Right. Look at this. So now wait a minute. Is this the doll that was in his house?
By trees.
Okay, no, there it is. There it is. There's the doll that's in his house. Yeah, and of course he doesn't need this doll. Oh, he's gonna break it. Why
Charles,
would you keep that in the house?
I think you got some anger. I think you got some anger problems, Charles.
I think he does.
I think you need to have a little sit-down session with who would have been popular at the time. Donahue.
Sally.
You need to go on Donahue.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Work it out.
Ooh, Sally Jesse Raphael.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Remember her?
Was Springer? No, Springer was just
a couple years later. Yeah, yeah. What about? Well, Oprah was popular. Why don't you sit down with Oprah?
Harpo. That's right.
Harpo Productions. Yeah, I don't understand why you would keep the doll. Well, the doll's
I know, man. You guys up in the north, like my father was telling me in Connecticut, y'all are getting buried with snow right now.
In the States, yeah, here actually we got about maybe 4 inches of snow last week, and it hasn't snowed. It's snow, like you can see it on the ground here, but we haven't had any snow in about a week or so. But it's been very cold though. It's been very cold, and I do know that New York got a whopping of snow.
Yeah, so Connecticut too. All that.
I'm wondering if it's headed our way.
Sometimes I do wish I lived in an area where it was like that still, because I like those big drops of snowstorms, because then you can go out and take some fucking epic photos.
Yeah, yeah. Like I went for
if you have 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's true. And my Challenger's all-wheel drive, so
or a quad.
Is your Camaro all-wheel drive? Or
no, my Jeep is 4-wheel drive though.
Sorry, my Challenger's rear-wheel drive. I mean.
Oh yeah, yes.
So
yes.
I always have to. Yeah, I got to be
all-wheel drive.
Yeah, I got to be. You got to be careful in the winter for sure. So this girl, she also reminds me of Kate McKinnon a bit from Saturday Night Live. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. In certain.
Could you imagine today if that happened in the film where Andy takes a drag and a cigarette? Holy fucking
abuse.
PC culture would literally be mind-fucked right now.
This is abuse.
Mind-fucked
this
right
fucking
now.
Piece of shit. Abuse.
I forgot he takes the drag of the cigarette. I totally forgot about that.
He's a cute kid. Yeah, she kind of does.
She's got a cooking show now, I think.
This actress has a cooking show?
I think she does cooking shows on YouTube, just to clarify that. Like her own YouTube channel. Something like that, because I think she's like a vegan or something.
Oh. She's a vegan.
Something like that, yeah. Well, that's like the popular craze right now.
Yeah.
I can never give up. I can never give up meat. No way.
I can't give up meat either. I mean, I could if I had to.
Love chicken.
If
that's
it was
my
like a
big protein intake.
If I had to for some like health reason or something. But no, I like meat. I like eating chicken and turkey.
Although I don't eat a lot of red meat. I really don't.
I don't either. Although I had a burger tonight. I did have a burger. Well,
my
tonight.
Burgers are turkey burgers. I don't know if that counts.
I have turkey burgers as well, but I had a beef burger.
But does that count as red meat?
No.
Yeah.
No. Beef and pork, I think, is red meat. And I had
no, pork's not red meat.
Pork's not red meat?
No.
Well, beef is for sure then.
Beef is, steaks are.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on the pork thing though. Maybe you're right. Pork is red meat.
I had a beef burger tonight. It was fucking great. It was great. I heard the cow go, moo. I was like, that's right. It enjoyed it. The cow thanked me. Like, why would you keep that? So as soon as now this is actually Chucky. Okay?
This is
Chucky. But the parents don't know that.
Right.
Why would the parents when they came down in the morning, why would they just leave this here?
Some messed up parents, man.
You're psychologically abusing your child right now. They are abusing the child. This child should be taken out of the home immediately. Can you imagine if a psychologist found this?
Smoke.
Yeah. Can you imagine if the child psychologist found out about this? Why would you just take it?
Nowadays, forget about it.
Well, I just mean it. Yeah, in general, like they found out that, the parents kept the good guy doll in the house. It's funny.
I usually have a steak like once or twice.
I love how he's swinging over the grave.
Once.
Steak is good.
I know, right?
Steak is good. I like my steak well done though. Not well done to the point where
I'm in the medium well.
Yeah.
Range.
Not in the part where it's stiff, but I'm not a blood kind of guy. I don't want to cut into my steak and see like this red blood spill out all over the dock. Okay? Jaws.
God, I crushed on this girl so hard. Christina Elise, if you happen to watch this, I'm telling you, back in the 90s, I was crushing.
Tony is available, just letting you know.
He's semi-available.
Oh,
things are in the works, but I'm not going. That we'll leave it at that.
Oh,
We'll just leave it there.
We'll talk off camera.
We'll talk off camera. I don't like to broadcast that stuff too much.
No, I get it. I understand, man. It's your private life. I get it. I tend to keep my private life private as well.
Yeah, I never share any of that shit, even on social media.
Yep, same. Somebody messed.
But, oh yeah, I like when I remember even watching this with my girlfriend. I was like, wait, get away from me! Hold on, who is this girl?
Yeah,
I was crushing on her
jean
big time.
shorts.
And then when she joined 90210, I was super excited.
Yeah.
Then they didn't keep her on, which was weird because she was a very popular fan favorite in that season. I'm surprised they didn't keep her on. Although I've heard stories of like female drama on set with that show, so I'm sure that probably played into a factor. Like Shannon Doherty not getting along with half the girls.
Yeah.
But they were lucky enough because without social media and all that crap, they were able to get away with that shit. We're finding out this crap later on that there was all this type of problems on set.
I have no hope for humanity. I don't. I just, every man for himself. Just take care of yourself, and
we're going Mad Max, baby.
Yeah, it's all over.
It's all over.
It's over. It's over.
You know what I watched last night? By the way, I meant to tell you this before, and I don't want to forget, and I keep forgetting. You should check it out. It's called Highwaymen. It's got Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. It's based on the two guys who tracked down and killed Bonnie and Clyde. Good movie. Really fun. Netflix
I've heard of it. Yeah,
really
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. I'm gonna rub your shoulders, bitch, and hope to have sex. Whenever a man comes up to a woman and starts rubbing her shoulders unannounced, he wants sex. Oh, he
Do
could
I like
have
pineapple on my pizza? No, I like nothing on my pizza. I like cheese pizza.
Wow,
plain cheese.
Dude, really? Like no pepperoni?
You know why? As I've gotten older, I don't know if you've had this problem, but man, if I eat pepperoni pizza, I'm up all night with heartburn, like all fucking night.
I do like pineapple on my pizza. Chucky is got Andy tied up here in some
kinky shit right
sadistic,
now.
Kinky shit going on. You're right.
Really?
But Chucky's eyes, he has beautiful blue eyes. My God, does Chucky ever have beautiful, gorgeous, light, pale, baby blue eyes? Stunning. He could be a model.
Now, could you imagine if someone walked in like this and be like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. You'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And how does he... Wait a minute. Does this...
And no one questions, like, how does he tie himself up like
I was just going to say, do we see the end result of this now? She's coming through the window. She looks. He's gone. He's tied up. Like, what the fuck would he be doing?
Yeah, I mean, and the doll's like right there. Like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah. It bursts in and they think that she did it. Why are you tying him up? Why are you keeping the fucking doll in the house? That's what I want to know, parents. You're reprimanding her for tying him up. Who knows? Maybe they were just having some fun game and it was his idea. But you keep the doll in the house? That's what I would have said to him. I would have said, fuck you, Dad. I would have been like, yeah, see? And now they take the doll out. And what are you going to do? And I think he just walks down to he just throws, what the fuck does he do? Does he put it in the closet? What the fuck? Oh, yeah. No, he throws it in the basement. Why would you not take it out of the house? Of course, then you wouldn't have a movie. That's why.
It would be the end. Exactly.
Fuck you. Yeah, it would.
And you wouldn't have the iconic moment coming up of how's it hanging. Phil?
No, it's true. You wouldn't. Ooh, he has a Michael Myers sit up there.
I was gonna say he went Michael Myers on that sit up there.
Yeah. But yeah, in reality, you wouldn't. In real life, you wouldn't keep. Like if if I had adopted a child that was deathly afraid of Skeletor, had psychological trauma with Skeletor. And
my brother was like that with a doll that I had, was the Incredible Hulk doll.
There you go.
My brother did not like
there
that.
You go.
So my father had to keep it in the closet.
You see, it had to keep in the closet.
Yeah, like legit.
Why wouldn't you get rid of it though?
2 years old. You know what I mean? And the Hulk doll was making a mean face and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I still would have gotten rid of it then. You know,
I think at some point my dad did, because I don't remember. At one point it was just gone. I never saw it again.
But if I was adopting a kid and I knew they were deathly afraid of Skeletor, and I accidentally forgot to get rid of a Skeletor doll or toy or something, and then it shows up in the house, I'm not just going to keep placing it in different parts of the house where he could discover it. You know what I mean? And I certainly wouldn't display it in the kitchen on a fucking chair when he comes down in the morning. It's just a movie. I get it. But and I like this movie. I do. I do actually. It's my second favorite in the series. But I do,
of the two that you only like.
The two that I only like. Well, 3 is, you know, but I find that.
Did you like the remake? Not to cut you off. Did you like the remake?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was, I thought it was, you know, it was, I
almost fell asleep watching it.
You know, I didn't like it, didn't hate it. I'm sort of indifferent, I guess. I thought it was, you know, that was entertaining. I mean, I probably won't ever watch it again unless it's on TV or something. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was terrible.
God, I love schools like this. This was like my elementary school, just like that. That old brick, just classic old school.
Looks exactly like that. Same.
Desks that were just like, now when I walk into a school and for a job or something that I'm doing for a client, I'm like, man, everything just looks so modern and sleek. Like there's no, I don't know. Our schools just have like a rugged look to it, like these, you know, that you're seeing here. The chalkboard in the background. Yep.
Hey, look, everybody. Hair for people who think I'm bald. Dave's got hair, fuckers.
No, I'm the bald one.
There is no doubt there's always somebody that has never seen my hair and is right now going, holy fuck. Holy fucking shit. The guy's got hair. Look at this teacher's a bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Would Andy be up there in the world of annoying kids, semi-annoying kids, or cool kids?
I have a mixed feeling about Andy.
Or cool kids.
I even felt this way when I watched this and again, Andy's about our age when these films came out, you know, give or take a year or
I think
two.
he's a bit younger than us, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, he's close.
Hey, Google,
you know?
How old is Alex Vincent?
No, the character.
39 years old.
39 years old. Yeah. Alex Vincent is his real name. So he's 39. He's 39. So yeah, he's like, you know, a couple years younger than us.
You know, so you figure he's like, whatever.
So like
he's
9 here.
If we're in 5th grade when this came out, he's in 3rd grade.
Yeah. He's small though. He does appear small for his age, I think.
But I always felt like you sympathize for him at some points, but at also other points you're like, man, this kid's annoying. You know what I mean? Like it's a mixed relationship there.
Yeah.
But he does. I don't like it when he gets picked on. I don't like any type of bullying.
No, exactly.
Even when poor Tommy trips and falls over his pumpkin.
Yeah. And that was...
I'd love a good callback.
People think that was Lonnie that tripped him. It wasn't Lonnie.
Anthony Michael Hall trips and falls on a pumpkin.
Yeah, it wasn't Lonnie that actually tripped.
No, it was
Tommy.
the other kid. What's his name?
Richie.
Right? Richie, yeah.
Yeah, it was Richie.
Everybody said it was Lonnie, but it's not Lonnie.
Yeah.
If you watch, it's Richie.
Yeah, I had a whole conversation about that with Mickey when we had dinner. He was going on. He said how some people would come up to his table and say and have that conversation at conventions and stuff. And he said, well, actually, I was the one that did it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. When you watch it, it's actually him that trips Tommy. Not Lonnie. So Richie's
I remember we had the checkered tile on the floor.
The
That was like
floor?
our classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I can be very symbolic too.
And the old wood doors that would be for the classrooms.
Yeah.
Now I think they're like metal or something.
Yeah.
They look, honestly, the modern schools look like a fucking prison. That's what I was trying to think of. Like, what do modern schools look like compared to the schools we grew up with? They look like a fucking prison.
Yeah, well, they're very sort of just kind of institutional looking.
Yeah, prison.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah.
They don't look like a place of education. It looks like a prison.
My high school was sort of like, now my high school was built in the 60s though, but my high school
my high school was like 1800s, man. It was old.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not that old. I'd have to look it up and see.
Yeah. My high school, I think, opened in 64 or something like that. It was already like 30 years old by the time I got to it. And now it's like 50, 60 something years old. But it was, it's just the way some of the walls looked when you'd walk down the hall, very white brick and things like that. Not a lot of color.
1951. So
around the same.
It's in the same era as yours.
Yep. Well, high school wasn't even a thing in the 1800s, though, too. I forget.
No, I know.
Yeah. I forget when high school first came around.
Mental Goodman. That's Tony. That's because these people are they're crazy people these days.
It's true.
Referring to the modern high schools looking like prisons.
This woman took a fucking look at the way Chucky's walking here. He's like he's doing a dance.
He beat her like a redheaded stepchild.
Chucky is the redheaded stepchild. Chucky is beating the shit out of this woman. You probably couldn't even do this today. The woman would have to fight back or I don't know.
See how his facial expression is there?
Yep.
That's the kind of shit I need.
I understand. And for those of you that may have noticed, I am aware that my camera once again is glitching. It seems to do that
really?
Yeah, from time to time. It seems to do that from time to time when I connect to Zoom. I don't know why, but it is. If it gets really bad, I'll switch cameras, but so far I think it's just manageable. This guy's a fucking dick. He kind of looks like Bill Clinton from the side there, young Bill Clinton.
Yeah, it does.
Just a little bit. Not just the hair. It's more the hair, really.
Got a little Bill in him.
I got a little Bill in me. That's what she said.
That's what Monica said.
I don't think they actually had sex though, right? He just.
She had Bill in him.
Well, that is true. I meant like intercourse. I shouldn't say didn't have sex. Yeah. Obviously, oral sex is sex, but.
She had a piece of him.
She had a piece of Bill in her. What kind of fucking stooge you got?
Although from my understanding, she got a lot more Cuban in her. The cigars.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Oh yeah, Billy and Monica got into some freaky shit.
I haven't heard about
in that Oval Office.
Was he smoking it is the question. But I'm bumching. Like, look at this. Why not just get rid of the doll, you stupid man? Get rid of, unless they're supposed to have the doll in the house as some sort of weird therapy or something. Let's
just go on record to say that these are the worst adopted parents ever.
They are. They're terrible parents. It's a fun movie, and I enjoyed this movie,
but yeah,
sequel,
this is like.
But these
like
are terrible parents, and obviously you got to write it. I understand that you have to write a story that allows Chucky to thrive in the environment, but I just
I would have kept Chucky hidden probably. In hindsight, I would not kept him. I would have made Andy feel as if like the doll is gone.
Yes, and I think if the dad throws it out, then it makes it more weird when he shows up again, right? Because right now the dad and and Andy think that it's the doll from the closet. They would have no reason not to think that, right? Andy might think that the doll from the closet was Chucky the whole time. And the parents definitely think that the doll is the same Chucky from the closet, the same good guy doll from the closet.
Yep.
I think it might even be creepier if we see if the parents throw it out and all of a sudden it shows up again and they're like, what the fuck is going on? I tossed this thing in the garbage. I saw the garbage truck come by, pick it up. And then they can maybe even blame Andy for running out in the middle of the night maybe and getting the doll. Exactly. Or they blame her. What's her name again? Kristen or... What's her name?
I think her character name is Kyle.
Kyle, that's it. And then maybe they blame her as well. And then there's like this feud going on. I think that's more believable. I don't think you would, knowing you wouldn't keep the doll on display it. It's just funny. Just funny. I like the movie, but that has always, even when I was little, I remember thinking, why would you keep it in the house? Why would you do that? Obviously, we know why, but just kind of funny. Ba 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 boom. Where are we here? Chucky POV. Michael. Oh, no, that's right. It wasn't Chucky. It was Andy. I forgot about that. You think it's Chucky, but it's actually Andy getting the knife or getting something. Because he knows. Andy knows. Andy is prepared now. He knows. Andy knows all.
Okay, I was like trying to catch up to everyone's conversation. They're like, what girl are they talking about? They're talking about, I was like, they're picking on my girl, Emily Valentine? They're like, nope, they're picking on Brie Larson. Okay, good.
Brie Larson.
Yeah. They're,
why are people talking about?
Cody and Aaron are talking about Brie Larson.
Why? I don't know.
Why everybody hates on her so much.
Oh, you know, I know that. I know they do.
Because she talks.
I'm indifferent. I just don't care.
That's pretty much why. Because she speaks. If she just zipped it, she'd be hot.
Andy's going down the stairs.
Is that the electric knife?
Yeah, he's got the...
My parents had one of those.
Yeah, used to cut
my mom
like
did,
turkey
my dad
and
did.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I need to do? I need to redesign my entire house and have it all like retroed out, like 80s fucking microwave, 80s fucking dining room.
You should
table,
just buy a
couch.
In your house right now. You should just live in the 80s. You should just go back to the 80s.
I agree. I am totally there.
Like
except for like, I might need some modern technology.
But no.
Well, I need to have cable, dude.
No,
I need to be able to watch my shit.
That's true.
But I can watch it on an old school television.
All your furniture should be like fucking 80s furniture.
Get a lazy boy chair.
Carpet. Get a shag carpet. That's more 70s, but get a lazy boy.
Carpet, regular carpet would be more.
Get a. I still have carpet in my place. I like carpet.
Wallpaper. Get like funky looking wallpaper.
Get a tube. Get an old tube TV.
Yeah, that's right. Warren Arm. I forgot that they don't make electric knives anymore because of the riots. That's right.
That's too bad. I remember my mom having that too and used to use it to cut a turkey.
That's true, Aaron. They did have cable in the 80s, so it wouldn't be cheating. I would just have to figure out a way to rig modern cable boxes to an 80s television.
Mm-hmm. I thought about getting an 80s TV, like an old tube.
Well,
TV
I have that small one that I use as a prop for my photo shoots, but
is it actually?
I'd want to get like back in the 80s when everybody was so proud to get a 22-inch screen. Like I know they throw that line in Stranger Things, but no, like for real, like 22 inches was like,
dude,
the shit back in the
I
day.
remember when I was living with my dad at the time and my stepmom, and for Christmas, this is like late 80s, we got a 29-inch television. And now my computer screen right now.
That was huge for you guys, I bet.
Oh yeah. My computer screen that's in front of me right now is 32 inches. So it's 3 inches. It's 3 inches. And of course you always measure a screen, whether it's a computer or television, from corner to corner, from top corner to bottom corner. You don't measure across, you measure corner to corner. That's how you measure the inches. And it's funny to think that my computer screen right now is 3 inches larger than that. It's
funny to think that my computer screen is 2 inches smaller than that. Mine's a 27-inch Mac.
Yeah. And it's weird because when we got that, you're right, Tony. When we got that, it was fucking huge. Like we set it up and I was like watching TV all day on and go, wow, holy
greatest
shit.
Thing ever.
Oh, it was fucking huge. I mean, it wasn't, there were bigger TVs, of course. You could get like a 42-inch, one of those big, those big TVs that like sit on the ground, and those big like plasma TVs that were like 38 inches and 42 inches and stuff. My friends had those. I had a friend that had a TV like that. And it was like, wow, it was rear projection plasma shit. It was like, fuck, holy shit. And now it's like nothing. But I remember that 29-inch TV was like, whoa. insane. It was insane.
I think I'm gonna do that. That'd be fun to do, to retrofit my house.
You should. The How's It Hanging Phil is coming up soon.
That's right.
He's a fucking idiot. Phil should die. Does Phil die, or does he just kind of get the... Can't remember. Look at Chucky's face there. Yes! Yes, Chucky! Yes!
Yeah. How's it hanging?
Yeah. I love it. And this is when he realizes, oh my God, he's alive. Yeah. How's it hanging, Phil?
He just says it so nonchalant.
I know.
How's it hanging, Phil?
I love it. And oh, that's right. He dies. That's right. He breaks his neck. Yes. Yep. His neck is busted and broken. And then, of course, they blame Andy. And Phil can't say anything because he's dead.
He's got a broken neck.
Oh, he's dead. I think he's dead, right? I don't think his neck's just broken. He died. Get away from me. Doesn't this woman almost look like she could be the mother of Aubrey Plaza, who was in the remake of Child's Play?
Yeah.
She kind of, is it Aubrey or Audrey? I think it's Aubrey.
I think it's Aubrey.
I think it is. Doesn't she kind of have just a little bit of her? She doesn't look exactly like her, obviously, but there's something about her that kind of looks like she could be like her mom, or
a little bit.
Just a little bit. He's fucking dead.
So Chucky's killed the teacher,
yes,
the guy that worked for Good Guy's doll,
yep.
And now Phil.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, not from the side. I think it's more in the eyes, maybe a little bit, or just there's something, a face shape. Nose is completely different, but just a little bit. There's something there. So this woman, the actor that plays Kyle, she hasn't acted since 90210, you said, or something? Or
no, the only two things I know her for are 90210 and this.
Ah, I see.
I mean, I don't really know her full resume.
I got it. This woman, I remember this woman here with the hair here. She was on an episode of...
she looks like she stuck her finger in a socket.
King of Queens. I remember she played Spence's mom on King of Queens. Now, actually, Jerry Stiller's wife ended up playing Spence's mom for most of that show. But if you're a King of Queens fan, this woman here was the original Spence's mother in the first season of King of Queens. If there's any, if there's any King of Queen fans out there, I like the King of Queens. I think it was a funny show.
Yeah, Kevin James
and Leah Remini. Yeah, it's good. Not Ben Stiller, Jerry Stiller, who died. Was it last year, or the year before?
Mary Stuart Masterson, Cody. That's a good call right there. God, I crushed on her too for a minute. I'm actually going to watch that movie. I found an old Madonna poster of mine last night that I'm going to actually hang up back there once the creases are all done. It's a poster that I had as a kid.
Nice.
And one of Madonna's songs, my favorite song by Madonna, is in a movie that she's in called At Close Range. The movie's really centered around Christopher Walken and Sean Penn. It's a fucking great 80s movie. If you guys have not seen it, watch it. It's a really good film. And she's in there. She's also in Benny and June, which is a really good flick.
What's the movie called again?
Oh, At Close Range.
At Close Range.
At Close Range, yeah, with Sean Penn. And the Madonna song that's in there is Live to Tell.
Okay.
Fucking great. It's like the song, you listen to the song, you're like, yeah, it's fucking 80s.
Gotcha. Yeah, the swing is just over the grave. Man, but I don't even understand why they're drawing so much. Well, I guess do they discover the other doll in here?
The doll?
Yeah, I think they do, which then, okay.
I can't be walking.
Right, they do here. So then,
she does.
Then, yeah, drawing the connection now to, it's like, wait a minute. Yeah, she discovered it. Literally is like, yeah. But how would she know that?
Dave, you went out for a minute. Now you're back, though.
Yeah, no, I know. I did. Yeah, okay. It was intentional. No, it was intentional. It was intentional. It was intentional.
Mendel Goodman. What are my favorite sitcoms? Cheers. Cheers.
And Cheers.
Cheers.
So I ordered.
Cheers is definitely one of them.
I ordered the He-Man to go along with this Skeletor.
He-Man.
Yeah. So I have Skeletor, and I will soon have He-Man, which will be awesome. Then I'll set them up somewhere. And
I am feeling Golden Girls. I'm up to season 5.
Golden Girls is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Golden Girls is amazing. I'm gonna tweet that out. I should tweet that out right now.
It's a great show. Really, really good show.
No, I can't, but maybe I'll tweet it out after.
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it's a great sitcom.
It's
All in
one
the
of my
Family.
favorites.
That's another great sitcom that I enjoy watching. What else do I like watching? Boy Meets World, Home Improvement, shit that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s. Family Ties.
Yeah, I was a big Elf fan. I liked Elf. Wait, she's got a
Full House,
knife.
Perfect Strangers.
Now, where's Andy right now? Is he fucking?
They took him back to the place.
All right. Oh, that's right. So she's alone with the Chuck. Wouldn't Chucky be like trying to get his way there? Can't remember.
I didn't get into the Cosby Show, Hans Gruber. I mean, it's a good show. It's an iconic show. I just never got really into it. Funny. The episodes that I did watch are funny.
Yeah, I like the Cosby Show.
I just didn't watch it like I watched the other ones.
It's we're 54 minutes and 20 seconds. This thing's flying by.
Yeah, this thing is flying by.
Flying by.
It's done.
Yeah, we're this thing's flying. And this thing ends in like a toy factory, doesn't it? I think.
Seinfeld, Mendel is like, it's a mood thing for me. I have to be in the mood to watch Seinfeld. It's not one that I would turn on purposely to watch. It's like if it's on, I'll stop and watch it if I'm in the mood to watch it. And it's great. It's an iconic show, but it's not one that I would stop till I watch it. Move it up to a little bit more modern times. Frasier, well, that's not really modern. 2.5 Men. Before Charlie Sheen left.
Oh, Chucky is. You got to admit, it does.
Hey, she sells it. She sells the scene.
She does.
I know. A little doll hanging on the back like that looks funny as fuck.
It does. It does look funny.
Credit, man. She sells the scene.
It does. She's doing a great job. But the way the feet are kicking and shit, and
I know
it looks funny. And that's not to take anything away from the movie. I mean, it's fine, but it does look kind of funny.
From a visual perspective, it just looks funny.
Yeah.
Like I said, she totally sells the scene.
Yeah. Totally.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I fucking love that show. That was a great show.
Now, Chucky has this habit of rolling under the bed.
God, my girlfriend back in the days, all my female friends dressed like that. They had the socks over the yoga pants.
I remember that.
Yep.
The strength that Chucky must have to have been able to hit her foot.
That's what I'm saying.
And actually have her go up in the air and down. And now, like, he's got her by night. See, you have to. It's almost not believable. It's a good sequel. I buy it. I'm in. I like the sequel, but I can totally see why they decided to go. I mean, that's not necessarily why they decided to go the route they did, but it is kind of funny in some ways. It's like this doll has this woman hostage, and it's like, it's a doll. Fucking just reach over right now. Like, unless Chucky has human strength, like maybe that's something that the Chuckyites in the chat room, and don't say, and don't say yes if you don't know and you just think, well, that sounds cool, I'm just going to say yes. There has to be evidence for it.
Everybody say yes.
But that's right. That's right. Well, because people do that though, right? Like you'll say something and then people just like the idea. So they just say, yeah. And it's like, yeah, but is it true? You know what I mean? That unless maybe Chucky has human strength, maybe he has the strength of Charles Lee Ray. Maybe that's why he's able to fucking tear shit up and kick people's ass, because although he's a doll, you know, although he's a doll, he has, you know, human strength, the strength of a man, you know, the strength of Charles Lee Ray, because Charles Lee Ray's spirit is inside Chucky. And if that was ever canon, if that was ever made canon, I don't know if it ever was, but if that was ever made canon, then it makes it more believable that people would be not only afraid of the doll, but actually he would be a physical challenge to people, that there would be a fight there, like there'd be a believable fight.
Giving us some info here. He says, yes, Chucky has human strength. Even in Bride of Chucky, they're literally tossing human bodies. So
yeah, but that doesn't, yes, and I'm not saying that that's wrong, but that doesn't mean that it's got to be part of the narrative. Like you can't just see it. It's got to be, you know, it has to be, the audience has to be made aware of this, right? Otherwise, it just looks silly and comical. I get that. Yes, okay, they're tossing bodies around, but then, like, is it ever said that that's true? Is it ever written? Was in any of the movies?
Maybe it's just implied.
Is it ever said? I guess it's implied. But of course, Bride of Chucky, is that what he's talking about? Yes, Chucky in but Bride of Chucky did not exist at this point. There was no Bride of Chucky. So in the first Child's Play,
I said maybe they're just implying Chucky has superhuman strength.
Right, but
that's why he's able to take Christina Lease down.
But I think for me anyway, I think in a movie like this, because it's a doll, as an audience, I need to know that, because otherwise it just looks, you run the risk of having it just look silly. Like, I was just like, it's a doll. There you go. You just put the doll. Now get out of the car and beat the shit out of it, and grab by the head and beat the shit out of it. But if it has the strength of Charles Lee Ray, well, that's different. That's different. Anyway, I'm thinking way too deeply on this, but
I think you're overthinking.
I am. But I that is something that I think, although I don't like the direction of the Child's Play series, and I'm not saying that this was a reason why they did it, I think I can almost understand why you go into carnival territory and silliness, because I don't think you could make 5 or 6 movies that I'm supposed to take it seriously. You know, like some fucking doll is actually getting the best of all these adults. You know, it's hard to believe in the long term. It's hard to believe in the long term. In short term, okay. But in the long term, it's like somebody just fucking beat the shit out of this guy.
You have to remember, the more longer he's in the body, the more that he becomes human in that body. So if he's Charles Lee Ray, he probably is just getting the strength of Charles Lee Ray, and he's becoming more human inside the body of the doll. What
I learned was that the more he's in the doll, the more likely he's to stay in the doll. You know, yeah. Right. But again, do we know for sure
Which is why he's bleeding.
Right.
From the nose.
Exactly. 100%. But the strength aspect has never been addressed, because he had the same strength in the first movie. I mean, he was, you know, fucking like the cop in the car. He was getting the better of the cop in the car, and he's fucking, he's always had this, you know, upper, you see the knife go up to her neck. Like it's fun. And I don't take it too seriously, obviously, but just, you know, little things like that. It's, you know. But I like this sequel. I do. I like Child's Play 2. I like the first 2 Child's Play films. Yeah, I like those films. And you like the first 2 as well, right, Tony? Like you're just like a first 2
that's
guy?
it. I have the first 2 on VHS and digitally, and that's it. This is one of my favorite kills, just because of her reaction. Was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Bill's kill was good as well too. I mean, it doesn't beat the babysitter, the mom's friend in the first one when he.
No, the mom's friend in the first one is great, because it's not just the kill; it actually is a scary scene. It actually, like, the suspense leading up to it. Yeah, you don't see it. Yeah. That's what was so great about that first movie. And again, I understand you can't just follow that for, movie after movie after movie. But I love the fact that I love the fact that they were able to actually make you afraid of a doll. And we don't actually see Chucky, like in that first Child's Play when he's actually Chucky, like, fuck you, bitch. And he's actually Chucky, not just the good guy doll. That doesn't happen until like 45 minutes into the movie. And it happens when the mom opens the back of the doll and she notices that the batteries are not in there. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she's like, come on, say something. And then she threatens to throw him in the fire. And that's when he goes crazy. Look at the timestamp. That's like 45 minutes into the movie. Everything up to that point is like POV and suspense and suggestion and, misdirect. And it's really well done. It's creepy. There's a creepiness to that film. And that kill of the babysitter is genuinely creepy. When she's on the couch and you see like, Chucky run behind her and shit. And then he's like, it's all POV. And then the cops are there and they see, the footprints in the flour. And so, like, it's just, and again, a movie like this today might be a little comical, but in 1988, when it came out, it was genuinely like, this is really eerie. And the fact that they were able to do that with the doll is pretty impressive. It only makes sense that, of course, in a sequel with the doll, you'd have to open it up a bit more, and so this movie isn't as suspenseful, isn't as smart as the first movie, but it's still really enjoyable because it's you have the same kid, the characters are likable, I guess. It's fun. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's not too corny either. And I like that. I like that. Whatever he's saying there. I love the little fucking middle finger to the car. That's great. I love it. Like that's like, for me, that's as corny as I would go. You know what I mean? Or not corny. It's not corny, but like, you know what I mean, right? I have trouble.
Oh, for sure.
I have trouble watching stuff that's just like a complete 180 of the character. Now he's, getting married and they got fucking other dolls in there and shit.
Got a roadmap on his face.
Yeah. It's just like, now it's just too much. It's just too much. And again, maybe, I only speak for myself, but maybe it's my age. Maybe if I was younger or if my first introduction to horror was Chucky, maybe I'd be a little more lenient. I don't know though. I mean, I'm pretty hard on all the stuff.
Hey, that kind of reminds me of what's his name there from Halloween. Joe Grizzly.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
That dude had a little bit of Joe Grizzly. Yeah.
So there's an entire good guy doll factory. Like, these dolls are very popular in this universe.
Even though we didn't see a single one of them growing up as kids.
No, it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't a real toy until the movie, But yeah, you'd think that
you would have thought though back in the day that they would have capitalized on that and made them though.
I think the reason why they didn't is because generally speaking, boys are not into dolls.
It's true.
And they're creepy and they're big.
Well, now that's different. Now, I mean, obviously everyone wants to get their hands on it.
Well, yeah, because it's a piece of horror history now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's very marketable beyond that. Like, it's not like the Cabbage Patch dolls, and they were smaller. And
damn, he straight up just knocked him out with that.
He did. He fucking knocked. Oh yeah, he did. You can kind of see his eyes. His eyes are fluttering there. It's
doing rapid eye movement.
Yeah, it's like he's in REM. Although it works because you could say that it's the voodoo shit.
His eyes are blinking hardcore.
They are blinking hardcore.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job at selling being knocked out.
No, but you could, like I said, you could justify it that it's the voodoo. Look at that fucking
Look at that poltergeist looking fucking clouds.
It's fantastic.
Lightning.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Added in afterwards, like a matte painting almost. It's great. It's great. Good blending there too. Get the fans blowing on his hair. Look at those gorgeous, beautiful baby blue eyes. You're mine, kid. You're mine. I'm going to kill you.
You ever seen the meme of, it looks like it's Jason from part 6 laying down on the ground and Chucky's over him, and it says, if you see this shit, it says, you know shit's about to get real. It's Chucky doing his voodoo thing onto Jason.
Oh no, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen
I'll have to share that meme later. Something like that. It's like, I think it says, you know shit's about to get real or something like that.
Yeah. Too bad, Chucky, you're bleeding.
He's been in the body too long.
I've been in the body too long. There's no clouds anymore. Just kill him. Just kill him. It didn't work. It didn't work. And I know as the series went on, the animatronic, the movements of the animatronics became better and better and better. You know.
Oh, that's technology.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I have no doubt that if Cult and Curse and despite I forget which one wasn't that great. Maybe it was Cult. Or whatever. Like despite the fact that people might not be into some of the films, the movements of Chucky are probably very impressive, certainly by this day and age. And it'll be very interesting to see what What's-His-Face does with the sci-fi series of Child's Play.
Because that's right, because What's-His-Name's back, right?
Yeah, well, and I mean, that was happening simultaneously along with the movie, the remake. The remake, but then COVID hit. I don't even know where that is. Do we know what stage of production? Have they shot all... did they even move into production on the Child's Play series? Were they able to actually,
that's a good question.
Or did they move into production and then did COVID stop them? And now it's kind of like they're like, yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love to know sort of where we're at with that Child's Play series. And I'm surprised it's going to sci-fi. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have fucking cable, so. I just got rid of my cable actually last year because I never fucking watch it. There's nothing fucking on. Come on, Andy. You little twerp. She says that to him. Come on, you little fucking twerp.
Fucker.
She says that, you little fucker. It's great. Yadal? I think they should have brought him back.
Who?
The cop.
The cop?
Yeah, from part 1. They should have brought him back. Another connection to the original. I love the way the first Child's Play ends with Andy exiting the bedroom and then looking back and there's a still frame. And they just pause on his face, and then the Child's Play theme comes in, the theme from the first movie, not the one in this movie, and just that very childlike song plays. I love it. I thought it was great. Yeah, you had a lot of still frame shit like that in horror movies in the 80s. Yeah. Oh, he's going to tear his fucking hand off. Oh! Oh! Ooh, he's bleeding. He's bleeding. He's becoming more human. Not more human, but he's becoming part of the body. The body. You've got the body. I've got the brain. Ooh, what's a better sequel? Well, I know what people will say. They'll say Child's Play 2. But what is a better sequel? Elm Street 2 or Child's Play 2? Ooh.
What's a better sequel, Elm Street 2 or Child's Play 2?
Ooh, put them up against each other. Do a poll. I bet you Child's Play 2 would kick Elm Street 2's ass. Because everybody just got this. Most people still have like an aversion to Elm Street 2. I think it's my second favorite in the series. And I know it's your third favorite.
Yeah, I mean.
So, I don't know.
That's tough. I kind of like them both the same.
Yeah,
you know
it kind of feels like that, doesn't it? Kind of, it kind of feels like that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really like one better than the other.
Right. Yeah, see, the chat room's already saying Child's Play 2, it's so predictable. I knew people would say that. Because I think people still have this aversion to Elm Street 2. They don't like Elm Street 2. They like the first one. They like the third one. The third one is most people's favorite or most people's second favorite.
Freddy's Dead. Hands down.
Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead is fucking amazing. Freddy's Dead.
Greatest film ever made.
Freddy's Dead. Listen, there's Shawshank Redemption.
Exactly.
And there's Freddy's Dead.
Is Citizen Kane. Okay?
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Exactly. There's Freddy's Dead.
Not that I'm a fan of Citizen Kane, though, to be honest with you. I know that was revered as like the greatest movie of all time at one point, but I was never really a big fan of that movie.
Yeah.
I can't believe Tony said that.
That was good. That literally didn't sound like you at all. I can't believe Tony said that. Look at all these naked good guy dolls. If this movie was released today, there'd be somebody somewhere in the world complaining about child pornography because of this scene. That's how dumb the world.
Probably not.
That's how dumb the world's become.
Netflix put a freaking show or movies like Cuties on there, so
no, it's true.
Not.
It's true, but you know what I mean, right?
They'd celebrate it.
And I'm telling you though, no, there'll be some mom or something. There'll be some, because that is literally how dumb the world is becoming. It's literally how dumb the world is becoming.
I had to deal with a Karen today at the gym.
My accountant's name is Karen. I feel terrible for her. Just as long as, I think, isn't the male version of Karen Kevin or something like that, or Ken or something? I'm just glad it's not Dave. That's all. I'm just glad it's not Dave.
You couldn't do Tony because Tony, Italians are too argumentative by nature. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. And I've got it both bad ways. I'm an Italian and a gypsy. I was fucked from birth.
Ooh, yep.
I was born to be argumentative.
Yep, stubborn.
Yep, stubborn. Oh, me and this woman got into it today. Oh, she pissed me off.
Did she work there, or was she just a...
No, and then everybody sided with me because she was being stupid. I was deadlifting, and she decided that I was deadlifting too loud. And
wait. Deadlifting too loud?
I'm not quite sure how to work out being quiet. Okay.
Like you're going, ugh!
No, I wasn't even doing that. She just thought because the weights were making noise.
Oh,
I wasn't slamming them either. Even the people at the gym came over and they listened and they're like, he's not even slamming. He's bothering me. I wasn't even bothering her. She was the one and then some girl who just happened to be right next to me working out. She's like, you're bothering him and me. So
right.
She had her sights fixed on the fact that, I don't know.
It's a gym. It's a gym, you're going to hear clank. You should hear me working out at home here. I was doing some deadlifts this afternoon.
Didn't help that I said maybe you should work out at a senior center.
Yeah. I
may, that might have antagonized her a little bit.
Now, granted, if I was working out at a gym, I would be mindful of this. But at home here, you should hear me working out at home. I'm fucking grunting and lifting and clanking. It's a fucking gym, man. You don't go to a gym to relax. You go to a gym to work out.
Go to a gym and clang and bang.
Yeah, if you hear some clang, it's a gym. It's a gym. Listen, if there's somebody being, stupidly, overkill because they're just, yeah, I get it. But so you hear some clanking, some heavy breathing, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking cares.
No,
Chucky's getting his ass kicked here.
That I work out at a smaller. It's like a mom and pop gym.
Mm.
It's not a big gym, and for the most part, it's mostly hardcore people that go in there to work out, the guys who are deadlifting 900 pounds.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. Yes.
It's that type of gym.
Yeah,
but
900. I deadlifted 1,000.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I'm just kidding. 900. Fuck that. I did 1,000 today, bitch.
Shit, I'm happy that I'm over 300 on my deadlift, and I'm doing good.
Yeah,
but
Chucky
there are
is
guys
melting.
in there that like, man, I freaking like, I'm sitting there like all like happy that I'm doing like over 300 pounds on a deadlift, and then there's dudes that like got 6 plates on there. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, you just, you don't compare yourself to other people. I never do.
Well, and they're like 6'4".
That's
250 pounds.
That's it. Of course, they're like fucking The Rock. Look at all the blood that is coming from this. Chucky just got his ass fucking kicked here, folks, and they think it's over. I forget how they let people know that he's still alive. Don't tell me. I forget.
He gets out of the thing, and then they.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Still not over yet. She's getting. Oh, that. Yeah, the guy with the eyes. It was great. That was great. He's still going, folks. He's still going.
Bobby Hall, no, I did not get the La La Land Records Karate Kids 1 through 3 soundtracks. I actually had the original. I've had the original 3 vinyl soundtracks since the 80s. I bought them back then when they first came out. So those are the ones that I have are the original pressings. But I did hear about them. I saw them. The thing with modern records is they're pretty much digital. It's not analog. I mean, it is because you're playing a record, but the way the music is recorded today, it's recorded digitally. It's not recorded analog. Like
right.
My Karate Kid soundtracks, the original soundtracks, they were recorded analog.
That's right.
That Child's Play 2 soundtrack, it's cool as fuck, but it's a digital, basically. Even though it's on a record, it was made digitally. The music was made digitally.
Yeah.
Although, no, actually, the music would have been made analog because the soundtrack for Child's Play would have been in the 80s.
It depends if it's a remaster.
Yeah, that's true too. See, like my Halloween soundtrack down there, that's analog. That's the original that came out in 79, I'm sorry.
Look at all that melted plastic. And he's still alive. He's still alive. Oh my God, he looks like a... Now that would be creepy.
He looks like baby Jason Voorhees.
Yes, he does.
He looks like if Chucky and Jason had a baby.
Yes, if Chucky and Jason had a baby, this is what Chucky would look like. 100%. Oh yeah, his head explodes here. That's right. I forgot about this.
Now he looks like a
garbage
pail kid.
He looks like a garbage pail kid on my 600-pound life.
Right? Doesn't he?
But I'm ching.
Looks like a garbage
pail kid. Epic explosion. Yes. I love it. That's fan-fucking-tastic. Love that. Oh, my God. Brilliant. He just got
well, Bobby, I have
wrecked.
Also the box set on CD for the Karate Kids soundtracks. It's 1 through 4, and that's the Bill Conti soundtrack, which is all Bill Conti's music, the pan flute and everything. That you can't even find anywhere now. I got that when that first came out. But the vinyl soundtracks that you're talking about, I just have the music that were on in the movies.
And that is the movie. The movie, ladies and gentlemen. Some people think when I emphasize that, I sound like I'm saying movie. No, the movie, like a cow. That's the movie, folks. Child's Play 2 from 1990. Hey, if you're watching after the fact, comment below and let Tony and I know your thoughts on this appreciated sequel. It's sort of like I think Child's Play 2, maybe I'm...
They did not cancel season 4 to Cobra Kai, guys. Like, stop with that rumor in the chat.
What's going on? They can't see that? Oh, please.
No. Ralph Macchio is literally 5 minutes from where I'm at right now. He's here filming right now, and
Great.
The house that the studios put him up in is literally 5 minutes up the road from where.
Fantastic. Go over there, take some photos. And
people have, and it's got to be annoying as fuck.
It probably is. Go over there, knock on the door, tell him you're his long lost son. No, it's long lost brother, because guy's not not separated enough to be his son. What was I saying? Yeah, so I think Child's Play 2 is the sort of the it's a fan favorite. Like I said, I think a lot of people tend to like Child's Play 2 over Child's Play 1. I'm the opposite of that. But it is, I think Child's Play 2 to the Child's Play series is like the fan favorite. I think it's Elm Street 3. I think it's Halloween 2. Maybe sometimes Halloween H2O. Though I think
Halloween 4.
I think and 4 as well.
I would compare Child's Play 2 more to Halloween 4.
You know what's funny?
Halloween 4 is a fan favorite.
You know what's funny is I think Halloween H2O, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think Halloween H2O. Maybe I'm reading the tea leaves incorrectly, but I'm getting a sense that Halloween H2O is not aging well with most of the Halloween fans that actually really like Halloween H2O. Now, I've never been one I don't think it's, dog shit, but I've never really liked the movie. It doesn't do much for me. It doesn't feel like Halloween, doesn't look like Halloween. I don't like Michael's eye. There's a lot of shit in there. I'm not a big fan of it.
That CGI mask, man, it's the best mask ever.
The CGI mask is incredible. But like I've often said, I do understand that for a lot of people who are younger than us, Tony, it was their first introduction into the world of Halloween. So it may have
the generation behind us.
100%. So it may have been the first Halloween movie they ever saw, or it was the first Halloween movie they saw in the theater. So for a lot of Halloween fans, there's a nostalgic attachment to Halloween H2O. But I've noticed, even though 4 is 10 years older, 4 tends to, even though it's got that terrible mask, it tends to age better with Halloween fans, like a fine wine. I think Halloween H2O, I'm noticing there's some people out there that like it, but I don't know. There's something I'm seeing it in the Halloween landscape, and obviously it's just a small sample size of what's out there.
I'm not fighting to death anymore with people over Halloween 4.
Yeah,
like there was a moment, I would say about 5 years ago, for a blip in time. Like I didn't know where these fans were coming from, but I felt like I had to fight to death with people to like justify like why Halloween 4 was my favorite sequel.
Yeah,
and it's second on my list in the rankings.
Yep.
I was like, damn, I didn't realize like what the fuck's going on. Now it's not so much. Like it's not as bad. Maybe once in a blue moon I might have to sit there and have to like explain my reasons why. But maybe you're right. Maybe people's views are changing on it.
Maybe.
But yeah, I find myself. I totally agree with what you're saying. H2O, it still sits, if I were to put the list together, it sits in the middle of the 12 whatever 11 films, 12 films, whatever, but you're right, I don't watch it as much anymore. You know what I mean? Like like normally I would, like, it would be my go-to to watch every Halloween season. I didn't watch it did we? Unless we did.
We did do H2O.
So then that was it. That was the only time I didn't do it during the Halloween season.
Unfortunately, our H2O episode, there was a period of about 2 or 3 episodes in a row where there was something going on with you. I think it was right in the middle of the pandemic, the audio is off. So
we'll have to
voices
redo that again.
Yeah, our voices aren't matching what you're hearing. So I believe that was the H2O episode, the Friday the 13th Part 5 episode as well. So those episodes of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, you're likely just to listen to them maybe when you're in bed or something. Just listen to them, because if you try to watch us,
listen to us when you're in bed.
It'll drive insane. Well, and in bed, on the bus, going to work, wherever you want to listen to us.
Light those candles,
light that incense,
throw on
and
some
just
Al
let it
Green.
go. But you know what the problem I have with Halloween H2O, and there's a lot of problems I have, but it feels too it feels like a pop culture. It feels like a horror movie that you would.
It feels like its time. It's a product of.
It is, but it feels like if you were trying to introduce somebody into the Halloween, if you were wanting to introduce somebody into the world of Halloween, and
show them Season of the Witch first, and fuck them all up.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you had a girlfriend or a friend, let's say, or whatever, and they were afraid of horror movies, and you wanted to introduce them into the world of Halloween, it's like you would like show them H2O. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's pop culture-y. It's it's like Scream, and like Scream is that kind of movie. It's not a and I like Scream. I like the first one. But it's one of those things where, yeah, I don't know. Halloween H2O is too, it's not like Scream because it's not self-aware, but it's like that. It's like it's self-aware. It's like it's...
Like I said, I think it's just, it's too, when you look at H2O, you look at it and like, man, that's 1998.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it just like, that's 1998.
Yeah.
When I watch Halloween 4...
It's not a scary movie at all.
Yes, the movie was made in the 80s. I don't know. It just... Halloween 4 fits like a glove into Halloween 1, 2. Mm-hmm. To me, it really does. Everything mm-hmm. blends so well together. And like you have pointed out several times, it's the ending that comes full circle. Michael kills Judith at the beginning. Jamie attacks her or kills. We don't know what happens to the stepmom, but it's a full circle moment, and they just left it at that. I'd be fine with it.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
And I find myself now that's the road that I go down when I watch the franchise. Now it's 1, 2, 4, I'm done. Or well, 3. I always throw 3 in there because I do like Halloween 3. Yeah. But when I'm watching the Michael run, it's 1, 2, 4, and that's it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
I
have the others, but I don't have a desire to watch them anymore. No. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, I agree. Super chats. Cody Leach, of course, earlier. Thank you again, Cody. Very much appreciated. Thanks, Todd Fayer sends in a $5 super chat, says, Child's Play 2 was a decent sequel. I couldn't agree more. Song Fan sends in a $4.99 super chat and says, Dave, why don't they use the replica Myers in North Carolina for H kills if they're going to bring it back? Would have been a cool decision.
That's someone's house, like legit.
It is. It's someone's house, so they would have to pay the owners for it. Also, too, you have to keep in mind that...
and have you ever seen the inside of his house?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the dude has got a nice, like, talk about it. It should be a museum, man, his setup.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a lot to, like, take down.
It's fantastic. It's also in like the middle of the woods kind of thing. So it's not like next to any other homes. You would have to use major camera tricks to give the impression that it's on a neighborhood street. It's not on a neighborhood street.
Too.
It's in the middle, like it's down a driveway in what looks like a very rural area.
Would you say it's cheaper to just build an exterior and make it look abandoned than to actually go and do that house?
Probably, but you also have to understand too, fine folks out there, that you're at the mercy of and again, I'm not saying this isn't why they haven't done it. I'm just saying that here are a number of things to consider before, making that kind of a decision. There's going to be a cost involved. And they're in a rural area, so you're going to have to watch the camera angles and the camera tricks to make it seem like you're on a neighborhood street.
Right. His house is out in the middle, like nowhere.
Yes, it is. And then number 3, of course, you have to keep in mind as well is that although his house was built bigger than the original Myers house, it looks like the Myers house, but it's a bit wider and a bit taller. But sometimes, depending on the homes, depending on how long you're going to be shooting there, you don't necessarily have the same creative control that you have when you build a set that is designed to move cameras around, to move dolly track around, to hang lights above and things like that, which is why a lot of the interiors of homes are done on sound stages, because you have like the facade, but what you don't see is the roof. And the reason why you don't see the ceiling, I should say. And the reason why you don't see the ceiling is because they have the lights there and everything, right? You have more control over the environment, and the space is built specifically to maneuver camera around, to maneuver lighting and grip around, and dolly track and actors and things like that. And it's just
starts getting really expensive once you start listing all that shit off.
Yeah, it's better to sometimes it's better to have more of the control. So you build the interior on a soundstage, or you build the facade, somewhere. It's just easier. It's more convenient. It's not somebody's home, because you not only would have to pay, like, let's say that they were going to shoot there for a week. You not only have to pay to shoot there, to use their home, you would have to pay to put them up somewhere else as well. And then there's insurance that comes along with that, added insurance that comes along with that in case of any damages and all that kind of stuff. Again, what the cost would be, I don't know. Thinking of it's me, Billy, and thinking of the cost we had to part with on shooting at the location that we did, it's not cheap, and we shot for 6 days. So, there's a variety of reasons why they might not have done that. One of which I think is just because they want the control. You know what? We'll just build it. We'll do this. We'll build it. We have the control. We can maneuver things around. We build it with the intention of shooting there. So, you know what I mean? So I think it's probably just somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, that would be my guess anyway.
And like I said, you have to take all his shit down and everything.
Yeah.
And
That too. They'd have to set deck
everything.
That. So like his home is not just, if you've ever seen the inside of it, it is like a little mini Myers museum. At least it was. And I'm sure it still is. And he built that with I don't think he's with her anymore, but he had a girlfriend. I think he's got another. Oh,
I thought that was his wife. I thought they're not together anymore.
I stand to be corrected, but I believe the woman he was with when they built that home like 10 years ago or whatever it was. I don't think they're together anymore, but I think he might be with somebody else. I'm not sure. I stand to be corrected on that. I just from what I may be wrong. But when I've seen photos of the inside of that place, it's like a Myers museum. You got pictures and posters and photos and memorabilia.
Cool shit.
You'd have to remove all that, and then you'd have to set deck all that, and you got to pay for a lot of stuff. So those are just some of the things to consider and to think about. It just might be easier to have the control, to do it on a soundstage. Which is what they did with Resurrection too.
Yes, sir.
Of course, at that time there was no Carolina house, but still.
You
took a treat, motherfucker!
That's the second greatest movie of all time.
It's the second. Are you kidding? It is amazing.
Well, no, it's not better than Freddy's Dead.
No.
Not better.
No, exactly. Mud Nelson sends a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Mud. Song Fan sends a $4.99 super chat. Says, Dave, I'm going to have to disagree with you. He's going to have to, folks.
Dave!
He's going to have to. He's going to have to disagree with me. He's got to disagree with me.
But Dave...
Song Fan says, I think people actually appreciate H2O now that we got the awful Halloween 2018.
Well, I agree with that statement because I don't like the 2018 film.
But I do agree. But I think when we look at...
But that's like comparing apples to oranges too.
It is. And I actually...
But I get what he's saying.
I actually don't agree with you, and here's why. I think what I've noticed about that comparison is not the movies as a whole. So I don't believe, and again, I stand to be corrected, but this is what I've seen in relation to what you're talking about, because I've heard, debates about this. I think the issues, or what I've noticed that people tend to debate in comparing H2O and Halloween 18 is not the overall movies themselves, but the character of Laurie Strode specifically, and whether or not her PTSD and her character arc was more believable in H2O than H18. I've seen that compared, but that's very different than comparing the movies themselves overall. I think
I've said that many times, that her arc in H2O is way better than what they gave us in 2018.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
It's not feeling the whole Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, Terminator, fucking badass gun-wielding Laurie Strode.
But I agree with it. I just think H2O is not a very good movie. And therefore, you know, it's just seems,
and that's not a sexist comment. I'm not saying women can't be badass gun.
Nobody and fuck the people who think you're saying that anyway. Like, come on, it's not our problem that people will watch this and can't instill their own, you know, level of nuance. Like, who fucking cares?
I can't picture Laurie Strode being this badass gun woman, but the way she was in H2O and how it fucked her up the events of Halloween night. That's how I picture her, and then eventually she finds her inner strength to confront Michael at the end of the film. And
that's totally fair, and I can absolutely see that argument. Although I don't think Halloween 18 is a very good Halloween movie, I do think it's a better Halloween movie than Halloween H2O. Overall, in terms of a movie, in terms of the way Michael Myers is portrayed, the look, the way the shape is portrayed by James Jude Courtney, the way they keep him in shadow, they don't show his eyes. There's a couple of scenes. I mean, and again, and you know me, if you've watched me for some time, you know that I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I don't think it's terrible. It's not Halloween 5 here, but it's a very good modern day slasher, but not necessarily a great Halloween movie. But it's a better Halloween movie than H2O. And I could go off. It'd take me too long to do it here. But I think what you're talking about though is people tend to compare the two arcs. And I do think that the arc with Laurie in H2O is probably more believable. When I think of the character and where she came from, and Halloween 2 from 1981 is still canon in H2O in relation to her arc. That was something that also rubbed some people the wrong way in Halloween H18, was like, would she be this kind of woman without the events of Halloween 2 from 1981? So she lost 3 of her friends. That's terrible. She was attacked. And obviously everybody deals with PTSD differently. Who's to say that she's not, right? You can argue against it just as much as you can argue for it. But certainly with the removal of the events of Halloween 2 from 1981, that does, you know, you remove a lot of things that would help us believe that she would be this person. So, you know, there's that debate as well. So I think that that's sort of in the realm of what people tend to debate. But I enjoyed Halloween 18 better than H2O, not by a country mile, but I think there are better things. I think it's a better movie overall than H2O. Yeah. But again, I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm just saying that, you know, when we're comparing the two, I think that's sort of where I sit. But the arc, I do tend to agree with, you know, that. I get it. It was all about, you know, redemption and facing her fears in H2O. Laurie was never afraid of, I mean, it was a different interpretation. And it's not that it's wrong. It was just a different interpretation of the character and what she would be. So we don't actually see her ever afraid of Michael in H2, in H18. She's not on the run. She's waiting. She's ready, cock loaded and ready to go, you know? And it's like, that's just different, you know? And for some people that's like, I don't know if she'd be that way, you know? Anyway, we could talk ad nauseum about it, but those are my thoughts on it. Frank Riker sends in a very generous $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Frank. Frank the Tank, my man, says, DT, I was waxing Blum and he... I was waxing Blum's bum. No, that's what it should read. I was waxing Blum and he told me about a movie After Ends. It's called Halloween Conception, where Myers is a sperm trying to get to the egg and killing all other sperms in his path, but in his way... but in his way is the Loomis diaphragm. Frank, that is a movie that I want to see. That Absolutely. But it's got to be animated. I think that would be funny animated. Obviously, it'd be weird live action, wouldn't it? That's a fucking movie I want to see. Dude, that's fucking amazing. That's hilarious. Jack Ellis says, H2 ends around morning. Do you think Michael blew up right before sunrise or the ambulance got there hours later? No, I think this happened probably at 4 or 5 in the morning. Yeah.
I think it was just right at sunrise as the sun was coming up and Michael started to belt out the lyrics to I'm All Out of Love.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
Yes,
you know
exactly.
You're right. Yes, that's what he was doing.
I should so make a meme like that.
You should make a meme like that. You totally should. No, I
connection between Mike. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just totally. In that late hours.
Totally.
Maybe an hour or two before sunrise.
Yep. Yeah, because when you watch the movie and like you get the sense of, because of the pacing and everything, that like the shit that's going on between, at the hospital and Laurie and, when they arrive with, the marshal, it's probably 4 a.m. or something. You get that sense when you watch the movie. Like I don't get the sense it's still Halloween, like it's 9 p.m. or something. Or
because
or 11.
Everything that happens when Laurie when Laura's banging on the door for them to open it, it's still very night. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not like you're seeing, the sun beginning to come up.
That's it.
And the whole transition from Michael coming into the hospital and stalking Laurie and Loomis, it's not a long time. It's minutes.
It's not. Yep.
It really is.
Totally.
So
Jack Ellis says H2 ends around morning. Do you think Michael blew up right before sunrise? Oh, did I read that? I think I read that. I read that. Justin Trudeau. Well, it's great to have the Prime Minister of Canada here in the chat room. Thank you very much, Justin. Says I will pay you $10,000 to watch The Omen Part 4.
Is that
100,000? I think you're right. It's 100,000. It's $100,000. Put the $ after. Okay. To watch The Omen Part 4, directed by Dominic Girard, who also did Halloween 5. Yes, The Omen, $100,000. Well, if you wire it, if you PayPal me right now, and Tony, you could PayPal Tony or I, $50,000 each. We will watch The Omen. We'll watch
it next week.
There you go. We'll watch it next week, but we ain't watching it before, folks. You don't go to the store and you got to.
Well, then again, if someone did give us $50,000 right now each, I would sit on the stream with you and watch Omen 4 right this second. That's a lot of money to be like, yeah, no, dude, I ain't passing that.
No, I'd still do it next week.
Sorry, dude. You would really pass up $50,000 if someone offered you legit $50,000 right now to do another movie.
No, of course not. I mean, if somebody actually gave me $50,000 right now and but we're talking about the probability she's very low. It's next to nothing. So, no, of course. Yeah, of course I would. I have to take a break to go to the bathroom, but David Lee Barron, 499 Super Chat says, I did my PA job today. Amazing, David. It was an incredible experience. They want to hire me back again. And as a script supervisor, very cool. I don't know what that even is. You don't even know what that is, and they want to hire you as a script supervisor? Why would they even offer you that job if they don't know that you know what it is? Well, a script supervisor generally is somebody who is on set, paying very close attention to the script and continuity, making sure everything
the actors are saying the lines.
Yeah, making sure that everything is on track and that the scenes are being. Some people dabble in other things while they're doing it, but essentially a script supervisor pays very close attention to the script and what's being shot on what day, keeping the schedule going, and the continuity of the scene as well. It's actually a very important job. I don't understand. I don't know why they would ask you, unless, David, I mean, I don't know what level of production this is. Maybe it's a very low budget amateur independent production. I don't know. But that's good. That's good. As long as they pay you more. If it's depending on what kind of job it is, because a script supervisor gets paid a hell of a lot more than a production assistant. So
yes, they do.
So just letting you know, but I'm glad you had a great time, man. And you learned a lot. That is awesome. DreedMem77 sends in a $10 super chat and says, Dave, you mentioned before about not being a fan of crossover films, but you seem to want to see Godzilla versus Kong. Don't you see that as being a crossover film as well? Any big plans for episode 100? Well, it is a crossover film. You're right. But it's
also part of a cinematic universe that they've created.
Yeah, it's always like Godzilla versus. These are not okay. How do I explain this? It's like a world. This world.
They just want you to say you want to see Jason versus Michael.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. It's
sorry, guys.
It's primarily because the world of these monsters is a very fantastical world. It's a very, and before you say, but the world of Michael and Jason's, just let me finish. It's larger than life. It's like Greek mythology. It's like they're god. I mean, that's why they refer to them as titans. You know what I mean? And gods. And it just feels it's too fantastical. It makes sense to me. It makes sense that you would throw a godlike creature from one movie up against a godlike creature in size and strength, and it makes sense. It feels right to me. With Michael and Jason and Freddy, yes, they're supernatural, but they live in a very they're not grounded in reality like Nolan's Batman trilogy is. That kind of feel, like everything feels very sort of real. But it's more grounded than the epic, larger than life, Titan, mythological monster universe that these guys are. So that's why I don't have an issue with it, because it makes sense to me. I don't want to see Freddy versus Michael. Well, it just doesn't feel.
Wilk 91 here says, and he's right. This goes back to the Kong Godzilla goes back to even the old monster movies like Dracula and Frankenstein. You could cross those monsters over back in the day.
And listen,
like you're saying with Freddy and Michael. Even though they're technically they're not in the same. Are they in the same state? Haddonfield, Illinois. Is Spring?
No. It's Ohio.
Ohio. Sorry, but it just wouldn't make sense to put Freddy and Michael in the same movie. Whereas Dracula and Frankenstein, it works.
It does work. It like, I understand people's fascination with it, but for me, in order to cross Freddy into Jason, which they've done, but in order to cross Jason with you water down the not that the movies by Freddy versus Jason hadn't been watered down already, but hopefully you'll understand what I'm trying to say, is that you just make a mockery of the characters. And I don't think you necessarily make a mockery of the characters when we talk about Godzilla and King Kong, because of the kind of characters they are. It's the kind of characters they are. It's right. It just makes sense.
It's like Dave's rooting for Hulk Hogan and I'm rooting for Macho Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just, it's very, it's a spectacle. It's a larger than life, otherworld spectacle. There's nothing human about it. It's just different. It's hard to, and maybe if I think on it a bit more, I'll be able to intellectualize it with a bit better vocabulary. But just know that for me, that's basically what I'm trying to say. And when we cross over Jason and Michael, it seems too small. Seems too small, and when they get together, it just seems like, why are these two getting together? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. I don't believe it. I don't believe these two people would exist in the same universe. But when you get to like epic, Godzilla, King Kong, King Ghidorah, Rodan, or whatever, it just feels
watching right. WrestleMania.
And that's what it was kind of. It is kind of like that in some ways, Tony, that, the old WWF and certainly now, the WWE, obviously it's staged. I'm not going to say it's fake, because there are people out there that get upset when you say something's fake, but it's staged, and, the winner is predetermined, but it is entertainment. And a lot of these guys have, it's the difference between like, it's why I was never it's the difference between boxing and WWE, in the sense of boxing feels more grounded. Now, obviously it is real, but I'm just saying it's got that feeling to it. And WWE it's a show. It's a spectacle. It's sensational. It's larger than life. It's these big hulking beasts of guys in big costumes, and the Undertaker coming down, and the big music and the fireworks and this. It's just, you don't take it seriously, or not that it's just it feels mythological, these big heavyweight, wrestlers and things like that. So I guess that for me is why it doesn't bother me. But any big plans for episode 100? We're still working on it. Southpaw 82 says, that Tony, Godzilla's gonna kick the shit out of Kong. Those are fighting words. Who knows? Alex Shambach sends in a $4.99 super chat, says, Dave and Tony, would you rather have every movie spoiled before you get to watch it, or never be able to watch the last 20 minutes of any movie? Love the show.
No.
I would
have
the movie spoiled for sure.
loving the fact that, I'm loving the fact that I've totally shut myself off for Halloween Kills stuff because I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think because I spent so much time, and this is going back to making the videos on YouTube that I was doing, that I was spoiling myself with Halloween 2018 with information that I think by the time I got to the movie, I was just like, I think I was even burnt out on Halloween at that point.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that I've gone back to like really shutting myself off. Like I'm even content, like if Kong versus Godzilla or would reverse that, you know, if I don't see another trailer, is it March or is it May?
It's end of March.
End of March. Okay. So when it comes out here next month at the end of March, I'm content if that's the only trailer. I don't need to see more. Same thing, you know, like I know people want another Top Gun trailer because that's coming out in July. I was wrong. It's not December.
Yeah.
No, the modern day movie audience, I don't understand, you know, like you guys, like, it's like you guys want everything revealed to you before you see the movie. You know what I mean? And like a lot of these YouTubers spend a lot of times doing these theories and stuff. Like I told you a few weeks ago, like I'm going back and watching some of these old Cobra Kai theory videos of what season 3 is going to be, where nobody is even in the ballpark of what they thought this was going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, why do that to yourself? Why sit there and put together a story in your mind already? Because if it's not that story, I think that plays heavily on your movie going experience, because you're thinking that this is going to happen because you spent the last year talking about it with people online and watching different YouTube videos. And then when it doesn't happen, you're like, what the fuck, man? You know? So that's why with Kills, I've really like, I'm not gonna, I don't want to know. You know,
fair enough.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the photos and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna overanalyze it.
Yep. No, fair enough. Fair enough. I would, if those are my two options, I would definitely take having every movie spoiled, rather than never seeing the last 20 minutes of a movie. Because for me, what most people consider spoilers, I don't. I mean, there are many people that consider the most mundane thing a spoiler. So for me, I would rather have something spoiled, but I can still enjoy the journey of watching the story unfold and have it take place, rather than never see the end of a movie. That would be terrible. Justin Trudeau sends in another $5 super chat. This is his Prime Minister dollars here. There's a scene in Omen 4 where a little girl drives in front of a truck and it cuts to a huge grown man doing the stunt in the little girl's outfit. Really?
Well, thanks for spoiling it.
I will have to. I'll have to see that. That's hilarious. I'm going to look that up. Mendel Goodman sends in a $2 super chat. Says your thoughts of Halloween would be what Halloween would be like in black and white. The original Halloween. I think somebody did a cut of black and white.
I'm wondering if he means like if a Halloween would be in a black and white type style, like not like the original.
Oh, like film noir,
like,
kind
like
of?
if someone did it. Like it's funny he says that because I've actually toyed with the idea of doing a Halloween fan film in black and white, just to do something different and fun, creative. You know what I mean? If you do black and white, you got to know how to light it. And I wasn't trying to rhyme there, but I'm just saying, like you really do. No, because the effectiveness of what makes a good black and white film is the lighting. It really 100%. Fucking is the lighting. Yep. And if you nail the lighting, for a fan film, I think it would be fun as shit. For a feature, probably not. What do you think? Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I know somebody, I don't know if it's still on YouTube or not. Years ago, somebody put up the original Halloween in black and white. And it was interesting.
Oh, I have to look and see. I didn't even know that.
It was interesting. But Tony is right, though. When you are lighting, ironically, this might seem ironic for some because it's black and white, is so important when you are deliberately making because especially a horror film, you know, where you want to be moody and atmospheric because everything's black and white. So your use of light and shadow is extremely important for that to come through. For that to illustrate onto the screen, and it's a whole different mindset when you don't just shoot a movie in color and then just put a black and white filter on it. That's not what you do. You can't do that. There's a very specific style and very specific lighting choices that you make that you know is going to read very well in the black and white format. So it's not about just shooting a movie regularly and then just putting a black and white filter on it. That's not, because some of the choices you make with color grading and exposure and, you know, contrast and brightness won't translate just putting a black and white filter on it. It'll look weird. It'll look soft. It'll look muted. So there's a real big art form to that. Tony is absolutely right. Nick sends in a $5 super chat, says, Dave, I know It's Me, Billy will look good visually, but after hearing your great scored musical choices from your recent IMDb posts, I'm now more excited for it. Well, I'm glad you are. Yeah, the other day, myself and Bruce posted 2 little quick 1 minute behind the scenes of the set from It's Me, Billy, and we just like to drop that every now and then. Slow drips, just to...
That's what she said.
Oh, God. That's a slow...
I walked into that one, man.
Ching. I wasn't even thinking that. Tony! Yeah, so no, I'm glad people enjoyed it. It's fun. All right, it's 9:12. We've been on for over 2 hours here. Okay, we'll just take a couple more, and then we'll call it a day. I can feel the
Bobby Hall. Yeah, I mean, I see. I know. I don't know if you heard me, but I did acknowledge that he's got like Tony, the La La Land Karate Kid CDs are complete Conte scores and have a lot of unreleased material. Yeah, I know. I have that. It's the 4-box set. I've had it when it first came out initially. And yeah, that's only where you're going to get the Conte stuff. The vinyl records I was talking about that I have for just the mainstream music soundtrack, I got those back in the day, but I know the box set you're talking about, buddy. I don't know if you heard me say that, and I got that like years ago, and it's great. It's cool to throw those in and listen to that pan flute go. So
very cool.
Sorry, dude, if you didn't hear me before, my bad.
Super chat from Southpaw82 says fan cut of Zombies Halloween on YouTube is amazing.
Rob Zombie's Halloween's is like the 4th greatest film of all time.
Yeah, it is. I've seen the fan cut. Well, I didn't watch it from start to finish, but I watched a lot of the things that they rearranged, and it's fine. I don't like the movie.
Oh, Dave, you're a fan of it. I'm
a huge fan.
Secretly,
I'm a closeted
Dave's
fan.
A huge fan.
I'm a huge.
Like if you go into his other room, it's like Rob Zombie like shrine.
Absolutely. Tremendous Rob Zombie fan. Zach Gaxiola says, Dave, thoughts on the DCEU films if you've seen them and the upcoming Snyder cut of Justice League. The only DCEU film I have seen, I've seen Batman versus Superman, and I've seen Man of Steel. That's it.
I like Man of Steel. I don't know why I get so much hate. I actually think it's a good movie.
And I've seen and the Snyder cut. I just don't. I mean, I couldn't care less if there was ever one or not. I'm happy for those who are excited about it, but I don't care.
I know this is not part of the DCEU, but I just watched the original Batman the other night. Man, I love that
1989.
Yeah. Like I'm excited for our Pat's version of Batman coming out here, but man, every time I watch the Keaton Batman, I just like. I mean, look, I get it. Everyone's gonna be like, Chris Nolan's is darker and Heath Ledger. Like, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. Tim Burton's is dark and it's not depressing either. You know what I mean? Like, Nolan's
it's very
is dark
comic
and fucking
booky
depressing.
too. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, and I'm like Superman, Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve will always be my Superman, and
but that's
Keaton will always. I mean, I will probably enjoy the Robert Pattinson's Batman. I know that, and it has the potential of being maybe even one of my favorite Batmans. But I'm like you, dude. I don't, like the DCEU stuff, like. Batman v Superman, it was cool. Man of Steel, I thought was a good flick. Justice League, I mean, it's hard because you and I aren't comic people. So like, if I say I enjoy it, I'm coming at it because like, I don't know fucking squat about these characters. I don't know what they fucked up on. And, you know what I mean? Like, so like, but I guess, that's my brother, he's into the whole comic thing. And oh my God, girl, come on. It's just a fucking trees.
Xena!
That's what happens when you live in the woods and you're surrounded by trees and they scratch your house when the wind is blowing.
Yeah. Tony is actually in the middle of the woods. He's the only house for 400 miles.
Pretty much, just about.
more or less. Yeah, I'm out there. But yeah, that's what she said too. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, and I hate when we get these the comic book questions because, like, you know, like we're not. Like, and I get them even in my DMs sometimes on Instagram, and I just feel bad because, like, I don't know this stuff. Like, yeah. I know I've mentioned, like, I'm a fan of the Batman world. Like, that's what I lean towards and watch more of. But, like, it's the Tim Burton Batman and Batman Returns. I fuck the last two.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, no, fuck the last two. I don't go anywhere past.
You don't want the bat suit with nipples?
No, I'm good on the Clooney and Val Kilmer Batman. Sorry. Yeah, no. But I do like The Dark Knight. It's a great trilogy. Nolan's Batman is a great trilogy. It's darker. It's more depressing. It's, you know, it's an emotional roller coaster ride with the character. And they were well done in the real world. Yeah. You know, Pattinson's Batman's obviously is to be determined on what that's going to be. You know, yeah.
I think for me, like, I don't mind, and I know I can speak for Tony to say this. You know, we don't mind obviously getting the superhero questions. It's just that our knowledge and love of superhero films.
I think we watch it just as like legit movie fans, not as knowledgeable comic book guys.
It's just because the DCE, like, superhero shit right now is a genre now in and of itself. It's saturated. It's the big thing. Everybody's going to see it. Everybody gets crazy about all it. And I just don't. I didn't grow up with comics. I didn't. And when I say I didn't grow up with comics, I just mean, yes, they existed. But for me,
they existed. What are you talking about?
For me, I didn't buy comics. I didn't play with, you know, the superhero figures. I didn't watch the superhero cartoons. And it's not that I don't care about them at all. I was into other things. I was into He-Man. I was into Ninja Turtles. I was into horror movies. I just didn't. So I like your staples, as I've often said, like your Batman or your Superman, your Spider-Man. I'll always go see like a staple film, you know, that because it's cool. But like the larger mythology, like I didn't even like, and I've often said this, I had no idea who Doctor Strange was until what's-his-face was playing him in a movie. I'd never heard of him. I'd never heard of Black Adam. I'd never heard of Black Widow. I'd never heard of
Black Panther.
Same. I had never heard of the character Black Panther until the movie. I have no idea who these, so I don't have the same appreciation. And I can't, like, you know, when somebody says, what did you think of, I don't know, you know, Suicide Squad or something. And it's like, which I still haven't seen, obviously. But even if I've seen Batman versus Superman. And I don't think it's a great movie, but I enjoyed it. I sat down, killed, you know, a couple hours. I was like, oh, it was fun.
Yeah, and fun. But that's pretty much.
But there are other people that are like, no, here's why it sucks. And it's like, exactly. And I'm the same with say The Last Jedi, or the same with like Halloween, or the same with, you know, but the average individual might watch Halloween 18 and be like, oh, that was fucking great. I got scared. It was fun. It was a Halloween movie, good music. I had a great time at the movies with my significant other. For the average individual, yes. And because they don't have the perspective of the nuances and the details and the universe and, you know, they're not hardcore, right? Right. So that's how Tony and I are when it comes to superhero films, is that we can talk on a very basic 101 level. Oh, I enjoyed this. I like that. That's really cool. Hey, you know, they're making that movie. That's kind of cool. But to dive into the deeper stuff and this and the characters and what this means and this person's still alive against that person and how this isn't right and that, I am not qualified. I am not qualified to discuss that. You got to go on to the superhero channels for that do deep cuts and deep dives into that kind of thing, that, you know, like I do with Halloween or something, right? You know what I mean? So I appreciate them. They're spectacles and they're amazing to look at, and the technology and the artistry of filmmaking is incredible. But I don't have the same appreciation for out of the 22 Marvel films, I think I've seen 4. I think I've seen 4. I haven't seen Endgame, haven't seen Infinity War. I've seen Iron Man 2. I've seen Spider-Man Homecoming. I've seen the first Avengers.
So if I did, you wouldn't even know what I'm doing, right?
Well, I do know what you're doing there because I know what that means. And because
it's such out half of the
I know that's what's universe. His face, Thanos or whatever. I know that
should have gone for the head.
Yeah, but there's probably a lot, like I had it's just and I've seen the 2 Deadpool movies, but those aren't considered part of the MCU. So, and I love those. I thought those were fun, but I like Ryan Reynolds. He's funny. So I enjoyed those movies as like a comedy.
Boy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He's Canadian from Vancouver, I think. So, you know, I enjoyed on that level, but you know, you make a Masters of the Universe movie and you build that up and start getting hardcore with that and fucking shit, well then look out, because I'll be fucking into that shit like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I knew like Batman v Superman came from The Dark Knight Returns. You know what I mean? But
I think I heard something about that.
Yeah, but you start getting into like the hardcore stuff and start asking me questions, and I'm like,
yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I remember when my buddy Bruce, and I wouldn't say Bruce is hardcore, but he certainly knows a lot more than I do about these movies and the universes. He's seen all the movies and all that kind of stuff. So he'd be better at this than I would. But I remember when he came over to my place when the Doctor Strange movie was coming out a few years ago, and he was like, have you seen Doctor Strange yet? Now, this is so funny because I think he sometimes does this just to hear my answer because he knows I'm not up on it. And I was like, Doctor Strange, what's that? I had no idea who this was. I was like, what's that?
Thought he was fucking around with you?
No, I thought it was a legitimate movie, but I had no idea that it was a superhero movie. I thought it was like a thriller or something, or a horror movie, or, you know, something called Doctor Strange, you know what I mean? Or something like that, you know? And my first thought that actually came into my head when he said that to me is I didn't say this, but my first thought was, is that like Doctor Who, you know, and all that. And anyway, so I can speak very 101 about superhero films, because you can't be in the entertainment space and doing this shit online and, you know, and not know something about what's going on and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to do deep cuts and deep dives, I'm the wrong guy to ask. Unfortunately. All right, so where are we here? We got to wrap this thing up. I did have a couple of super chats. Jeff Harris sends in a $4.99 super chat, says, do you have any plans for a Beetlejuice commentary? Eventually we'll do Beetlejuice.
We can get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to Beetlejuice. Remember the cartoon? Beetlejuice.
Oh, that's right. They did have a cartoon of that.
They had a cartoon of
90s,
Beetlejuice.
right?
It was in around that run of like Beetlejuice, Inspector Gadget, you know, Ghostbusters.
That's right. I totally forgot that there was a Beetlejuice cartoon.
Yep, there was. It was amazing. General Shepard says, Dave and Tony, would you do a Two Dudes on Kong Skull Island or the Godzilla movies when Kong versus Godzilla is close to release date?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could see. I don't know if we do all of them, but maybe like
one of each.
Maybe one of each or something. Yeah, I'd rather do Kong Skull Island and then Godzilla King of the Monsters. I don't want to do the 2014 film. I don't hate the 2014. I don't hate it, but I enjoyed King of the Monsters more because you got more monsters. You got more monsters and more of them and more screen time.
In fact, we should do that in March.
That'd be fun.
That should be the lead up.
Oh yeah, I love it. Dun 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 dun. I love fucking. I actually ordered two Godzilla figures from NECA, and I ordered the Godzilla 1985 figure as well, because that's my favorite Godzilla movie.
I got that. The other day. I ordered it's an old fight card, like a boxing fight card picture.
Yes.
Of Godzilla and King Kong, and it's designed like it's like, you know, like the old boxing fight posters from back in the day, and the pictures they're using is the old 62 Godzilla and King Kong.
That's awesome.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's gonna be my shirt.
That's awesome. That's cool, man.
I don't think our theaters though are gonna be open. I think I'm gonna be screwed on this because I don't know.
The theaters aren't open.
I'm not paying to watch it on HBO Max. So this I don't know how I'm gonna see this movie.
I don't know how I'm gonna see it because the theaters we're in lockdown right now. I don't know.
We're not in lockdown. Some things are open and some things aren't. Like movie theaters are not.
Yeah. No, here, nothing is open. Well, I mean, like your Walmarts and your banks and shit like that. Gotcha. But all restaurants are closed. Everything's curbside pickup. The movie theaters are all closed. We don't get HBO Max in Canada yet. So I don't know why. But anyway, and I don't think even HBO Max is even overseas. Now, we do get HBO, but not HBO Max. There is something here in Canada called Crave, which I don't have. Maybe it'll go to Crave. I don't know. I don't even know how I'm going to fucking see this movie if the theaters aren't even. I have no idea how I'm going to see this movie. Unless it goes to PVOD as well or something, and I can just rent it.
Like a pay-per-view or something?
Well, I just rent it off of, YouTube or something for like $30 or something like that.
See, and I didn't even know that I didn't know you couldn't get HBO Max. So so now in situations like that, if you're telling me.
Not yet, anyway.
If you guys are still in lockdown by the end of March and this movie comes out, well, fucking, you can't be the only country that doesn't have HBO Max. No,
I believe HBO Max.
You're obviously not the only country that's still dealing with lockdown. So you're going to have one small portion of people being able to get access to it through HBO Max. And like, wait a second, why don't you just make it available like on iTunes to rent, like with other movies they've done here over the last few months? And allow people to rent it or rent it on other platforms like iTunes.
Well,
I get the money contract.
There are people that are suggesting, to get a VPN in order to try and get access to HBO Max. But this is from December 3rd, 2020, so 2 months ago. It says HBO Max is only available in the U.S., no other countries in the world.
So there you go. So like, what the fuck, man? You're saying only one country can get access to it?
At the moment. At the moment, yeah. At the moment, which is silly. But other countries may have like an equivalent, which they'll allow the movie to go on to that service. That's why I'm wondering if it's going to go on Crave, because like we get... Netflix here. We have Amazon Prime here as well. We don't get Hulu. And
you guys don't have Hulu?
Nope. No, Hulu I think is only a US thing as well, I think. I think it is. Okay. Hulu, see, when you type in Hulu Canada, it comes up. Watch Hulu you can access Hulu with a VPN. You know what I mean? And things like that. But in my mind, I'm like, why doesn't Hulu just... especially Canada. Like I can understand certain foreign countries like Mexico and certain poorer countries, but Canada is like a first world nation with all the. I just don't understand why it's not here. Makes no sense. I'm sure they have their reasons, but anyway, yeah. So I don't know how I'm going to see it yet. So we'll see. Sweet Tea sends in a $9.99 super chat for the channel. My friends, be safe. Thank you, Sweet Tea. Thanks, tea is sweet tonight. Very much appreciated. Mendel Goodman sends in a $5 super chat and says, Dave, your last McRae live was really good. I absolutely enjoyed it. By far my best episode. I feel like I was talking with you in person. Oh, great. What one? Was that the Friday the 13th one last week?
It has to be the Friday the 13th one.
Must have been. Oh, great.
That's the most recent one you did.
It is. I'm glad you...
another one you did.
Nope. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mendel. Really appreciate it, my man. Really appreciate it.
With that franchise. Dude, we're going to be like old and fucking shriveled by the time the next one comes out.
Yeah, we will. Totally.
Oh my God.
Totally. We will.
It's so ridiculous with what they're doing with that franchise. It's just
Yeah, we'll be old, and that'll be we'll be gray and getting rectal cavity exams. I don't know what the hell that comes. Hey, that's gonna do it for episode 98.
We're gonna be 99 next week.
99 next week. 98 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Thank you to my moderators, Tabitha Shore, Darren Sands, and Frank Riker for doing what you guys do. Thank you to all the super chat questions that came in tonight. There was a lot of them. Tony and I had to spend a lot of time answering them, of course, naturally. Thank you to all the non-super chat questions. And remember, if you didn't get your question answered tonight, keep trying. We'll definitely get to it eventually. Tony and I will be back next Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 99 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Unbelievable. It is crazy. Tony, any last things you want to say, my man?
No, we've almost done 100 of these things.
That's it? Tony's.
Oh, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just thought maybe is there anything else you want to say, or no?
I can't believe we're almost at. We've almost done 100 of these.
It's hard to believe 100 episodes. The 100th episode is just around the corner. Folks, have a great rest of your Monday night. Tony and I, like I said, we'll be back next Monday. All right, that's it for me. In the meantime, and in between time, cheers.